Oh, I didn't do it this time.
We are live. There it is.
There it is. I
Dude,
swear
pretty
you were doing
fire.
that the whole time.
Dude, there's no way I ever did that the first time.
Yes, you were doing
It
weeks in a
was a
row.
default setting. That's for sure. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another F35 live. Did you just kill our music?
No,
Dude,
went
somebody
away.
just killed our music right there. I was ready to get. I was getting pumped right there, and then all of a sudden, just shot it back down.
It's all gone. I'll add it real quick.
Idea. Yeah, you gotta add me on a source bag. What's going on, chat? Oh, there you are.
Shout out to Wurs, Resin, Emmanuel, Neo, Warden, Eddie, David.
We got a paired chat coming over here. I love that. It's the first time we're doing that too. We got MF or Jab Abadubu. I don't know how to.
That wasn't me.
Somebody's sneaking that in there. But dude, where's Tom at?
I don't know. He's lost in the world.
Somebody's asking. He's in prison, guys. If anybody's asking for that prison shirt again, he's locked away right now. But he should make his way back. He's trying to escape right now, so he should be here in a few. But in the meantime, we got some guests that are backstage that we'll be introducing here soon. Unfortunately, I didn't come up with any crazy intros for them, but we have some Cowboys in the back room right now. So we've been guests over onto their side of the channel, and this is TJ. These are some friends in the space that you've known. Can you give us a little intro into who we're about to bring on right now?
Well, you know, might know him from Cowboys, right? So he's a cowboy in the space. He's a big crypto channel. I've known him for a while now, and then he's just taken over the crypto world and Warden himself. Came into CNFTs a little bit ago, and now he's been making some big plays, big flips, and making some big moves over here. Glad to have him on tonight.
We got a whole group going on right now, right? We have the Crypto Warden, we have Cowboys of Crypto, Aaron, who these guys have dealt mainly in the BSC, like launchpads, just general cryptocurrency and microcap coins, all kinds of stuff like that. So they're approaching it from that side of the space of crypto. And then these NFTs, where one day they found out TJ's secret obsession over here. He had an NFT channel. So they finally, once they discovered that, we started jumping onto their channel and things like that. And eventually, and now it's our turn to host them back this way. So it should be a fun one. They've been dabbling in some mints lately. Warden over here, he's becoming a Mallard expert. You got Aaron over here, who's getting into some yummy, some other flips and things along the line. So I'm excited to bring these guys on. TJ, we'll pull them in. We're going to introduce Aaron, the Cowboys of Crypto, as well as Ethan. Guys, welcome onto the stream.
What's going on, guys? You're talking to the cowboy hat wearing, woo, gem crypto info sharing, woo, woo, snatching, woo, woo, Bitcoin catching, woo, NFT hoarding. We got the crypto warden, woo, rocket ship zipping, woo.
I want to join in on these woos.
Yeah, I've seen them because we're rolling
baby.
deep to freedom. 35. We've arrived on the best damn podcast alive. Son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these mallards down. Can I get 2 claps and a Ric Flair?
Woo! Do a quiet woo.
Right there. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yo, can we just get you on all of our live stream intros right now? That got me pumped up.
You always gotta watch a lot of WWE when you're a kid. That's
Love it.
Dude,
I remember actually at my wedding, you even got in on it too. We did the Ric Flair when everyone was grouped up together.
Dude, that's amazing. Tom, you just let us know. We got a lavish bear in the back room as well. So whenever he wants to join into the screen, you just let us know, man. We'll pull you in. But guys, welcome on to the stream. How does this feel over here? Usually we're on the other end with you guys over on your channel, Aaron. So it's just fun, being the guest onto the show this time.
Yeah, no, it's a big honor. This is one of the best podcasts out right now, in my opinion. There's a lot of different people out there playing the space, and they're just, there's a lot of good info, and a lot of people that are trustworthy. But you guys are creative, and you're insightful, and you keep the attention. So yeah, I mean, I love it. It's an honor. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having us, and thank you to the chat for being here.
Absolutely. Yes, Ethan,
sir.
welcome on as well, man. You are the rookie in all this stuff, but dude, you're slowly starting to learn, dude. I've been seeing some dip and flips. I've been seeing some good pickups over there. I've been seeing you sniping too. Dude, it's been awesome to see you get going, man. That's huge for you. How's been your journey into this world so far?
I mean, it's been really fantastic. I've had some great mentors. I'm blessed to be around some great mentors 24/7 almost. So it's really great that we're able to just go on each other's channels and just be able to enjoy each other and learn from each other. So I'm super excited.
Awesome, dude. Well, one thing we can all agree on tonight when we're out here is that's a lot of hats we got. So shout out to O-Side over there as well, who is our CNFT live just giveaway winner, man. He's won the Ghost Chain on the first CNFT live, and he won a Raccoon this week, or there was something. I forget what he won. I don't know if it was the Raccoon, if there was something else, maybe the Aeronaut or something from Chronic.
I think he won a Journey. No, he won the Journey. I think.
Maybe it was a Journey. Yeah.
I think it was a Journey. Yeah.
Cool, dude. Did you guys? Yeah, so we got a chance this past week too to go ahead. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that. We jumped on over on CNFT Live with all the other Cardano content creators, YouTubers, just people big inside the space. So that was a lot of fun for us doing the live stream. We think we had over at one point we were like 100 and we're close to like 150 concurrent viewers when we were running at peaks. So that was a lot of fun to do. And now with you guys too, dude, this has got to be fun on our end because we get to degen a little bit, right? We don't have like an actual project on tonight, so we get to learn a little bit about your guys' mindset coming from the other side, just like the coins and things like that, and then how NFTs have kind of changed maybe your investing strategies moving forward.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's good to be here. It's just there's so much to the crypto space that I'm still a student of. Spent a lot of time, like I said, on the tokens, but there's also more to the tokens like DeFi and like that borrowing and lending stuff, and then you got your central exchanges, and so NFTs were just a space that priced me out, especially in Ethereum. And I think that's why a lot of people are in here, is because Cardano is more accessible. And I think this latest news last week with Solana just makes me want to puke, throw my hat, light it on fire, and ride off into the sunset, because Solana is like Sacrappa, you know what I'm saying? Like they got like these NFTs coming out and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm so glad that I got into Cardano and surrounded by like TJ and got to know you and a whole bunch of other people that like I didn't have to risk my stuff over at Solana. So I'm just a student right now. I'm a student, eternal student. I picked up a few things. Warden, I think, has picked up more than I have. He spends an egregious amount of time studying this stuff. So yeah, I think we're just excited.
I love how much Ethan and the Warden has been researching, looking into things. I love it. He's been making big plays. He's learning a lot. He's learning fast. That's the way to do it.
Dude, Aaron over here. So yeah, we're pulling up your channel right now. So if anybody doesn't know, the Cowboys of Crypto, make sure you guys are going to follow Aaron, because he's going to get you all your. Actually, Aaron, I'm gonna let you introduce your own channel. What is your channel about? Because you got 33.1 thousand subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers over here in YouTube world. So can you explain a little bit about what your channel is and what kind of content you're focusing on over there?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. My channel is a channel on like a journey through crypto. I started crypto like just really green, like I didn't know anything about it. So I just started learning about different coins. And I just put my thoughts into it. And so like it's my process learning. And I set a goal for myself to achieve 1 Bitcoin during this time in trading and everything I was doing. And I managed to accomplish that within about 4 months. So like I started in March of last year, March, April, May, June, July, August. So 6 months. I achieved it in August, and I was just super happy about it. And so that's my channel. So there's a bunch of micro cap coins there, but it's because mostly I was like learning about it. But then there's also like, okay, how does the YouTube game interact with the crypto game? What does that look like? And so that's my like #1 like viral video or whatever. Yeah. And so, but then I learned about like hedge funds and then NFTs and then spying on whale wallets. So that's really what that's about. I knew YouTube. If I started YouTube, I'm not the expert. So I started off as like a journeyman, started off as a student. And I'm the eternal student to me. I just want to keep on learning from people like F35 and just like, really sharpen my skills as a trader and just really make some money for myself and my family for the futures. So
yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. It's great to see the success on the channel over there, dude. It's been I didn't realize when TJ was saying that, he's like, yo, I got a buddy that's doing this stuff. And when he showed us your channel and stuff, I'm like, man, that's really cool to see. Like, especially somebody, you know, directly. So yeah, I think that's such an interesting like time, because that's kind of how I kind of came into just even the Binance, even last summer of 2021, when I was discovering a lot of these micro cap coins and things like that. I watched plenty of videos throughout the summer on different things. So I'm surprised I didn't catch. Yeah, I did do safe. See, TJ got us into Safe Moon over here.
Yeah, me too.
And then I
I got
jumped
him
into
all in
there.
the Safe Moon.
But that honestly, if he hadn't done that, I wouldn't have started to like really research into like, dude, I got to get out of these coins that are just, you know, promising you the world. And then just, you know, as fast as they come, they disappear. So I started to look, and that's what made me start to research into Cardano. And eventually I jumped into the NFT world from there. I kind of discovered. So, dude, it's awesome to see.
Taught me, like, so Safe Moon had 2 major pumps, and so when I got in with TJ told our you know, the bandit Saran, and then he told me, so it shot up, and this is my first lesson. It shot up all the way, and it came crashing down, and I was like, I'm rich, I'm poor again. And I think that lesson is carried over into NFTs. Like, hey, these like waves, these prices come in waves, and so if you're zipping and flipping, you know what I mean, like you need to ride this hype momentum up.
Oh yeah.
Sell, like, you don't know where the top is, but you want to sell when you've made a profit, and take those profits off the table. And I think that's like one of those first lessons that I learned from Safe Moon from TJ.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear over there. TJ was just one day, it was like, hey, you know what, guys, there's a Safe Moon thing. It's going to be the next big thing. You know, and then here's how you make a trust wallet. Here's how you do all these different things. And then one thing led to another, but it was good, like just discovering that stuff on your own, you know, like having to send transactions. Like I hadn't done that outside of like Coinbase at that time. So it was really cool to like start to mess around with different things like that. So, dude, shout out to you for that.
It's a safe scam though right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I sold out of that. I dumped all my Safe Moon and put it right back into Cardano. So before all the switch over to version 2 or say whatever was going on, their wallet and everything. So I have no idea what ended up happening with that.
How fast did you have to switch over from degen token plays into the Cardano ecosystem? Like how long was that time frame?
It lasted me from, I'd say, about the beginning of April of 21, and I got full into Cardano, I'd say probably right in the beginning of end of July, early August, which is when I was
gonna say, because you were walking crypto venture capitalists a lot in like July time, like learning more about Cardano. Then that kind of
I'd say about 3 months
to Cardano, and then you went to NFTs.
About 3 months was like where I got over that like whole like hopium of this thing's gonna go, you know, this thing's this price, and it's gonna, if it shoots up to like 1 cent, I'm gonna be a millionaire kind of thing. You know, you once you learn about market caps and understanding how much money is actually inside of there, you're like, that's not a reality anymore. So. So that's
so stop planning retirement, stop doing all these things.
You gotta have, like, you gotta hit your head, like you gotta take yourself down from that kind of stuff.
You made a good point though too. It's always like good to take profit when you can. You know what I'm saying? Try not to be so greedy in a sense, for lack of better terms. Just take profits when you can, and then move on to another project or another coin.
Yeah. I'd be curious too if anybody in the chat last year, especially at this time, was in any of these micro coins, any of the moon coins, anything, Safe Moon, whatever it was. I'd be curious to see if anybody in the chat kind of discovered anything through there, or if you guys were been in Cardano for quite a while. I mean, I heard of Cardano when I first started getting into it. It just wasn't anything on my radar, and I hadn't really done any research. But once I watched some of the Charles stuff, the whiteboards and things like that, I was just like, okay, this seems like one of the ones I want to invest in heavily. And then NFTs just happened to stumble into those, and from there, dude, it was over. And now I've officially hit my year, so it's been crazy to see this last.
I've had a few friends invest in Cardano when it was like 10 cents, and so they ran it up, and they really sold, but they still liked the project, and they told me about it. I bought into Cardano about $1 for the first time.
Okay.
$1 price, and it ran to $3, and I sold about $2.80, but then like it didn't do much. It kept crashing down, so I forgot about it until TJ brought it up. So yeah.
Well, it's crazy to see. So, well, tonight we're talking NFTs, and specifically Cardano NFTs, CNFTs. So, you guys, I know, how long has it been now for you guys both, since you guys got into your first or bought your first Cardano NFT?
Oh, good question. Warden, how long has it been for you? I could probably gauge for myself.
For me, it's been 4 months. So I bought my first NFT back in April.
Wow, has it been that long already?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it's been 4 months. It's flying by real fast, but I mean,
you've made a nice return in 4 months. I'll say that you're doing really well.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So I was doing a little bit of math in my wallet, and I put in about 200 ADA when I first started, and I have now around a little over 8K ADA. So super excited about that.
Good man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Work in progress.
So
that's awesome.
4 months.
How much of your own personal money have you invested in it?
Probably about $200 or $300. So about 600 ADA in total around the time. So it's a good return. I'll take it.
That's 4 months, man. That's crazy to hear. How about you, Aaron?
Yes, sir.
I probably invested maybe around before April for sure. So like
Yeah.
January, February, March, probably not
Yeah.
that much longer, March. And I probably got about $4,000 in there. I probably invested 4,000 of my own money, probably about that. And I haven't done any calculations, but I just started buying stuff. Like someone tell me, like you tell me, Tommy, if to buy Yummy, okay, no problem. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not the thinker. I'm a do boy. All right. You tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it. And so anyone in the chat who's listening to TJ and Tommy and the other Tom, like to me, it's the easiest thing. Just like these guys do the research, right? These guys are thinking about it deeply. And so yeah, that's what I do. So.
Yeah. Well, real quick, we got a question over here from Rez asking both of you guys. Do you remember what your first CNFT was?
I can't remember what the exact first, but I remember the first big one was Clay Nation for sure.
Clay Nation. I remember when you bought that.
I brought in like $3,000 with me, $2,000 or so like that. And someone, I forget who, told me on stream I was debating between like Ape Society and Clay Nation.
I think it was Tal. Yeah, I was telling him to buy Ape Society at the time.
No, Tal was trying to tell him about Yummy.
That too. And then somehow we settled on Clay.
Yeah, we settled on Clay. But it wasn't a bad buy, especially even at that time. You just got a good price for a good ranked Clay.
No, they're not bad buys. I was close to buying a space, but I almost wanted my goal to be like, hey, I'm going to flip to get a space.
Flip to a space button.
That one, so.
Yeah.
So how about you, Ethan? Then, so Clay Nation's an amazing one. First off, by the way, to buy into. So congrats to you on that. That's a great call. What about you, Ethan?
So just on the flip side, I wasn't able to put as much starting money as Aaron did, but I actually still own my first NFT that I had bought in the space because it was kind of a project of me just first starting out, and I was doing a little bit of research and I had no idea what I was doing at the time. So I kind of just bought the first couple of pictures that I looked at. And so it's mostly a dead project now, but I mean, I just hold it for sentimental value.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot. I mean, if I've looked in my graveyard wallet now, or just from last year to now, like I have like 600 plus NFTs just sitting in there, and probably I'd say more than half of them. I think I'll never sell.
Tom, our other buddy, he sends Tommy all his old NFTs he doesn't want anymore. Just sends them to Tommy's graveyard. He just sends them all over there.
I think people eventually are they're working on ways with I thought I heard Mutant DAO. They're working on a way to for people to get all their old NFTs that just aren't going to sell anymore, making a way to consolidate them into actual token, stake them into their platform for their token to be able to use in their marketplaces and stuff like that. So people have thought about that.
Garage sale.
Essentially that, yeah.
Pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, nice.
Right?
Like a vintage store of NFTs.
We still need to include that kind of stuff, like the utility towards CNFTs into the ecosystem. I think that stuff will take off. That kind of innovation for sure.
100%. I agree with that.
We got in the back. We're gonna see if Tom's working. He's working through some technical difficulties tonight, but I think he's back right now. Let's see if we can bring him in. Tom, what's going on, dude? Can you hear us? Yeah, we can see you. So that's a good.
There we go.
Cool. Dude, he was getting murdered by Restream, huh?
I've been watching on YouTube, so it's been going well. Sorry I haven't been able to jump in here, but apparently Restream takes more resources than Adobe After Effects to run.
That's the price you pay for these high quality these streaming services, right?
Apparently.
We broke out of prison.
Yeah, dude. So, dude, everybody's with the running joke right now is that they love your prison shirt that you wore.
Well, it goes with his prison Mallard.
Oh, the black and white striped one?
Yeah.
Just wait till they see the orange jumpsuit.
Oh, man. I got a good question. Not that one, but we have another one right here. Look at this. We have, that's not it either. Here, we got this one right here. Sorry, the chat's moving too much. Anybody remembers their first rug? His was Cardano balls.
Dogs in the chain.
Wow.
What was Cardano balls?
I don't remember which. I remember Cardano dicks, like the little penis ones.
I remember those. I didn't mint that one though.
And Liam bought one of those.
I had that on that one.
That was the time though, last September-ish, August, September, where you could literally mint anything and it was going to sell.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But TJC, I don't consider dogs on the chain as a rug. as in like they did their mint and never planned on doing anything and just deleted their Twitter. It was more like they did their mint and then never had a floor. And we're like, all right, we don't know what to do, guys. So like, we're not gonna like work on this 40 hours a week. Like, what do you expect from us? But like, Gingerbread Squad, you were on that.
100%.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went hard on that one too.
I mean, Tommy, you were in. You know, it's still up in the air. It depends on who you ask. But I know you have a Coco Loco.
Oh, it still have.
That was probably your first one that you actually bought, right? That's the first one I heard
But
about.
I didn't get rugged on. I didn't get rugged on Coco Locos.
Because you got your money back.
First off, Dan said it wasn't a rug. Second off, he went.
It was a
I
carpet.
did. I bought the Coco Locos. I minted them for 180 each, and he refunded me. So I actually got refunded my theft. So never, and I still hold the NFTs. So technically, I didn't get really rugged on. He just kind of like gave me some free NFTs. He airdropped them to me.
Have you guys seen those, Aaron and Ethan?
Yeah, I have.
The bananas. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then the other one, Tommy, you also have a Nono Loco, right? Or Coco Nono?
I don't have the Coco No.
You don't have a
That's
Coco
spawned
No?
so many. I don't have the Coco No. So this was the time though. So like, if you guys like a year ago,
61 floor. Damn.
No, they jumped. That's what I'm saying. So coming into a year, so the first official, like they want to call it a rug pull, but technically he wasn't a rug pull in the sense that he refunded everybody who minted, but anybody who bought on secondary got wrecked. There was a guy who bought like the top one at the time for 20,000 ADA when ADA was like pushing on its way to $3. So at that fall time last year. So this guy got wrecked on secondary. So what ended up happening is he minted this project, and it's Dan with Crypto Capital Venture, and he has a huge Cardano
So
YouTube channel.
look at these big sales: 20,000, 20,000, 19.5,
Almost,
and then he just,
almost a year to this date.
That's the project, bro. That's
crazy.
Yeah, I actually remember these. I remember him shilling these. I remember. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what ended up happening too for everybody who was like, okay, we're getting a pump, the sales volume, everything was, look at that, over 1.1 million ADA traded, and that was such a short amount of time too that they had done that. So they were like really ripping at the time. And then
$2 ADA too.
One day he was just like, oh guys, so this was a fun experiment. But we're gonna go ahead. We didn't, we're gonna give this back to the community. We just wanted to test this out, kind of thing. And we're gonna be issuing refunds to everybody in the community, and everybody's just like, what? Out of nowhere. And then that's what really that's what everybody considers the first like official like big rug pull, I'd say, in the Cardano. Because up before that, everybody was just minting with no expectations, just for the fact they thought it would make some money. And then this was the first one where it was really hyped, especially with the big YouTuber behind it. And then they were just like, yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore. And then that inherently just killed the value of the project off the bat.
Why did they do that? Why did they just intentionally kill the value of the project?
He never really, he went on Cardano Thor's stream recently, I think this past week, maybe like week and a half now, and pretty much kind of addressed it, but didn't address it in a way. He just, he was more like hurt by everything, just because everybody started laying into him and ripping into him, and he was just been big inside the space for Cardano, and it was pretty much just like, I just want to be moved on. I just want to move on from this. And my intention was never to do this, but he still like stands behind it as this isn't a rug pull. He didn't really give like a clear-cut answer, I guess would be like the way I interpreted it. My thought was that maybe the Coco Loco name or something behind the lines or something more legality wise, or possibly he just didn't know what he was going to get into. He did mention that it became way bigger than what he thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but if you leave it alone,
Crazy.
you let the community, the demand drive its own price, you don't come out and kill it like that. That's
especially for like the buyers of these 20,000, 19.5, NFTs that they bought. Like, cool for the seller, but the buyer of that, like, oh, now what do I do with that? I just bought it for 20,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the community eventually decided to take this over. Like, he wouldn't give him the official Coco Loco like Discord and everything, but so the community had to spin off its own derivative. And at one point, Loco Nuts became like the Discord server, and the community took this over. They had to change the name and everything. And at one point, these things they were like minted for like 58 or something like that. And they never ended up, I don't think, officially selling out. And eventually you can see what the floor price for those are now. So that was the kind of the story arc of Coco Loco, but one of the big first considered rug pulls inside this thing. It's just the people who minted and didn't sell were fine. They got their stuff back. The people who bought on secondary got absolutely wrecked. So people feel a certain way about it. But that's interesting now because I couldn't imagine. That was a 10,000 collection too. So nowadays we're here a year later and look at where we've evolved into as far as the actual the way that mints go, the projects, what they are required to even sell out a 10K collection at this point. You can't come with no roadmap or no utility or nothing planned.
You
because
can't come with
people will-
art like that.
Or even like
Oh,
the
yeah.
keywords they use now to sell their project, like just metaverse and token doesn't cut it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to come with more. Like now we got on the topic of last time of like invitation letters or passes just to even get into these projects and mint, just to prove that they're going to stick around.
When's
So
the
that
last time you guys were rugged then? Like
I was gonna say, actually, I'm thinking on that. I don't think we do a pretty good job of evaluating who we're gonna buy. I don't think we've ever jumped in on any project and then just been like, oh shit, they deleted their Discord. Oh,
Yeah.
all right, well, 100 data down the drain. Like, I don't think I've ever done that on a project. I've been in some projects where, like, TJ said, Dogs in the Chain is the first one I ever minted, and they just couldn't. It was a time before metaverses and tokens and all this extra utility. It was just a time of flipping. They came out, they just weren't as popular, and they didn't really have any plans to raise that floor. So they were kind of, like I said, just like, what are we gonna do? Work on this 40 hours a week, guys? Like, the floor is 8. Sorry, like there's nothing, you know, it just didn't work out. But it was still months down the line when they're like, all right, we're kind of done with this. Tommy, have you gotten on a rug?
I mean, I got on Bright Pal. I guess Bright Pals would have been a big rug on my side, and I know they got
Well, I
taken
flipped
over by
them
the
right
community.
away.
See, I didn't flip mine. I went the other way.
Tommy,
I'm holding the
whoa,
bag on
Tommy
that.
bought an expensive one.
diamond hands.
It wasn't that expensive. It was like 300 and something ADA, but
Yeah, but let's
Oh,
do the
okay.
floors.
TJ, you've had a few, right?
Not recently though. Last year for sure, 100%.
yeah, there's always a couple where, but nowadays like the resources we have available to us are they're at a 30 floor right now, so they're a tenth of what I paid for it. But I know the community. I think this got picked up by Pastel Buzz. These were like basically like a derivative of Doodles, which is a huge NFT project over on Ethereum. So we saw that. We went through that whole like derivative section back in like middle part of the year when we started from like that February, March timeline is when we saw a lot of derivative projects start to come out. So, I mean, nothing's always going to be as successful as the creator of this stuff. So I don't know. We were just buying into the hopium, I think, at that time. So we've even had though I've seen my evolution of how I buy projects. At the time, it used to be there was a website called CNFT.com. And I would go on to that every week, and when they're still up right now. I think I forget the name of the person who runs this still, but they still have the calendar view, and we would log onto this website a year ago and just check whatever the mints were, and there wasn't nearly as many of these. The ads weren't like this. There was maybe a few projects each week that were minting, and if I looked at it and I was like, that's pretty decent looking, I was 100% minting back then, and then most likely it was selling out, and then you could flip it. Nowadays, I mean, I'm looking at this, and I maybe would mint one out of those projects. Maybe I didn't even looking at it like where I'm at right now without any research on that. And it's crazy to see.
Yeah,
I got a little
Back then it was
cocky.
different. You had the like first of like on Cardano, like, all right, this is the first big monkey, zombie, whatever project, and now it's like, all right, well, this is the 9th monkey project I've seen. Like, not back then it was like, yeah, let's do it. Like for sure, this is like a big deal. Now, even Bright Pals, man, looking back at those when you just had it up, Tommy, is like, these look great, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's because it's an ETH project.
And what were you gonna say, Aaron? I know you were jumping in.
I've learned since being in the space of like NFTs that attention to detail has got to be one of the most important things that I need to see from a project team. Like when I watch Mallards, like their detail to initiation, and not just the art, but like how they present the art, how they do the Discord, how they react to everybody, how they the support tickets, all of it. The attention to detail is something that is shows something like a certain type of care for a project that doesn't come with a rug pull or something that is not going to last. Like if you think about it, when I put together something that I care about, a video, a piece of art, I work on a project like with my hand or whatever it is, there's an attention to detail there that like, okay, I care about this thing. And if I don't see that from another project, I mean, I'm sorry, it is not going to get the best attention from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the attention to detail for me is what really drives it home.
There's even now so many more resources too, like everybody was saying. Somebody said, you know, how things have evolved over inside the space. I mean, even this is not to plug this website or anything like that. But they've got like these ranking systems and like, should you jump in, like giving it like scores. One big thing about the Block Investment Group with Jason and them over there, they've created these different resource people inside their Discord who do all the research and set up all the metrics and things like that. So if you join an alpha group like that, they've got you all covered on what you should and should not look for. It's similar to like a Patreon or a certain Discords from like YouTubers and things like that. So the resources we have available, even in a short amount of time in this year, are so much different than from where we were. So yeah, it's gotten a lot easier for the investor or for anybody new getting into the space to be able to actually do research because they have a lot more available to them. And even with you guys too, right? Even coming back a few months ago, you can actually be like, yo, I'm going to talk to these guys, or I'm hearing this stuff inside the, these Discords, and boom, I can go to this website or go to this person and they're going to tell me what I should be, or a Twitter space even. And then, dude, what's Tom, what you got going on over there?
He's got a hat.
I don't have a cowboy hat.
I was looking
at
at
it. The closest thing I had.
He's got a Super Mario
I'm
hat.
sitting there like talking,
Yeah,
and I'm
like
like, I just cannot finish my sentence. I was like, dude, what is going on right there? So real quick, TJ, I'm going to send you a status update, but TJ, can you make our way to our Twitter real quick? Because I do want to announce this before it gets too late over here. If there's anybody who's a fan of Her Monsters Gang, we do have a giveaway incoming here in about 20 minutes at 9:50 p.m. Eastern. This is courtesy of Shiny's, one of their, I don't know if they're a capo or whatever. I don't know what that means. I did not make it into the 213 priority crew. I made it onto the access list, but not the priority crew. So they're
one of our OGs though too.
Yeah, you might see some giveaways that are going on Twitter right now for Her Monsters, but they're doing some extra ones that are going to be able to get you into this priority crew, which I don't know if this is going to be like the Genesis token for these guys or what it is, but we've been talking about Her Monsters, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But you will have a one slot giveaway for this priority crew, which I'm kind of jealous of Shiny. I'm like, dude, why don't you just give that to one of us? Like that would have been sick. But we're going to give this out to you guys instead. So this will happen at 9:50 p.m. So if you guys are in chat right now,
burner account, got it. So
and this will be over in our Discord as well. So if you guys are not in our Discord, you will not be able to enter this, and it will pop up exactly at 9:50 for 10 minutes, and you have that until it and it'll end at 10 p.m. So just wanted to throw that out there, TJ. I think our Discord pinned to the top of the chat. But if you're not in the Discord yet, maybe we can throw the link out to them. But just a heads up, and Aaron and Warden, dude, feel free to jump into that. You might be able to get in. I think you got some money.
Man, I'm tired
of
not winning, man. I want to win. So
hey, the thing is, see, you let us be part of your giveaways, over on your channel. So absolutely, you guys are in the same boat on this side. So make sure to go ahead, check out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, check out the giveaway channel.
Talk about Monsters. I don't even know. I've never heard of this
project. I was gonna say I was gonna pull it up.
I
was gonna ask if you've seen it or heard about it, but it's a new one that we found a few weeks ago, thanks to I Hate Pants.
Ooh, I Hate Pants.
Okay, everyone's favorite.
Oh, I love that title. I remember that name.
This Discord or this website, sorry, is one of the coolest interactive websites that we've seen. And then even the artwork. Dude, so they got some really good music and things like that. It centers around these two it's a female character based project as well, like Foxy and Teresa, and there's some more ones. I call it over here. Grimmy always roasts me every time I say it, but Las Mujeres. I cannot pronounce that over there at all. So, but yeah, if you enter into this, TJ, so there was how kind of Mallard, where they did these puzzles and things like this. One day, there's no Discord for them at all. I don't know if they have a Telegram. I don't know what their preferred method of how they're doing this, but basically we got onto this website, and then one day they were like, there's a puzzle you had to go ahead and find out, and people were able to navigate through the website and find a secret web page where they had to sign an oath of secrecy, and which basically you put your Twitter handle inside of it at the end of it. And then eventually they had a Twitter space. In this Twitter space, they went to the alley portion of this. TJ, if you go to the alley on here, you can go and you click on one of the ladies hanging out in the alley. No, you click on the alley. There she is, hanging out. You click on that lady just sat there with a baseball bat.
Allie?
No, her name is I don't know, Zoe. There you go.
Well, who's Allie?
If you, I don't know. You go to
this way.
Rez is the person. What is the name of the phrase? If you typed in this phrase, maybe Rez, if you're in the chat, you can tell us what it is again.
I don't know what it is either.
This
I didn't make it though.
Something in a light shell pat or something like that. But when you
This is
typed this in,
so
you typed
cool.
in your Discord or your Twitter handle, and she told you if you were in this priority list or not. Was how it worked. And then eventually there was a 1K access list as well.
Let me see if I can find it on here.
Yeah,
What the
alley
actual
in the alley
message was.
There you go. Somebody's gonna be like, "Did I say alley in the alley?"
That'd be funny if we did.
I don't know. So they always roast me for this stuff. Yeah, so they've been doing like these teasers and doing these Twitter spaces and things like this. So there's the 1,000 up there, TJ, if you scroll past the 1,000 portion of this. So the original like thing was the 200, but the 1,000 people also got
What's
what
in
they
the
call
light?
the access
Yes,
list.
there it is. Thank you, Rez.
Yeah. So what's in the dark shall come through light. So if you type this in, and they originally gave this phrase in their Twitter space. So you would in order to actually check this. So they've been like doing these little fun things, and then she asks you what your handle is or something like that. Yeah, what's your name? So it's, yeah, Lazy T. I don't think you made it, did you?
I didn't make it now.
Oh, no.
I didn't make the cut.
Yeah. So that was how people found out if they made this 213 priority list. And from what I understand, I think there was only like 184 or something of them like claimed, and that's why there's these giveaways going on right now to get to the full 213. So I don't know if these are going to be like a Genesis type mint like tokens. There's TJ, you click on like the little like the vendor button right there. You can see like the wall pops up and there's a little clue and things like that. I don't know. They're super interesting. It's like mysterious right now, and the artwork is super cool.
Well, to get to that list, we had to go to I think it was the beach or Roland. Yeah, beach.
Yeah, it was the beach.
So here, you click on the duck and it says make a noise, quack, 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 right? So then you had to click on this, the horn, 3 times for the quacking. So it
took you to a secret.
So you had to be kind of quick when you saw the Twitter update, and you put your Twitter name in, and that's how we would get to that other list we just showed you to see if you made that list. So the first 200 people had to fill this out first.
Yep. So, and that's how, and then eventually, like I said, they give you this text dialogue, and I still really love the music at the end of this too.
Aaron's getting his mind blown right now. Let's see. What do you got for me?
So, and so this is like, so originally back in the day, you had like the whitelist grind. You had to get into the Discord, just type a bunch of nonsense and level yourself up. And eventually people got past that and they started doing these passes and things like that where you can mint, mint in early and get your buy-in guaranteed. And now this is where you're having to decode puzzles and all these clues and type in your Twitter in order to get like whatever their drop is. So obviously these things have evolved a lot in the last year. And that right there, like look at those. Those are clues right there.
Yep.
Like, so if you hit the bottom of that to sign that oath, so that's how people originally basically you had to sign that, pass the first stage, and then you could tweet about it as well. By the way, that music screen right there is some of that music. I love that.
Music's fire. I mean, I have it muted, but it's really good music on this website. It's really good.
So interesting enough, they have really good Twitter threads too on their Twitter. Her Monsters Gang, they explain a lot about what they're doing. Like I said, it's a female like focused like art like style project. I haven't dived into the last few puzzles. They've had some new things in there. I saw like an arcade going on. There it is right there. You just pass it down a little bit. The purple. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's like an arcade thing going on right now. The Foxy Cave after party. Stay tuned. I haven't actually, I don't even think I watched this full video yet.
I watched it a few days ago, actually.
So I'm curious what these guys got going on, but this is like one that we have our eye on right now. So if we were to like talk about
the actual art of the NFT.
Yes.
So, go back to I believe it's the stuff that we have on the thumbnail, right?
Thumbnail, yeah, it's one of those.
If it's you have it over here somewhere. So if people's like first, you can go down and we'll show the NFT first.
I think that's what it is.
I think right there, like stuff like this, and there's like cards. There's like I don't know if that's the actual one though.
Oh, interesting.
There's different ones that we've seen, like maybe this.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, I'm not sure if anybody, there's deck thing like cards and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if there's anybody in chat maybe who knows a little bit more than we do, can kind of break us into that. So I don't know, but I know what they're.
It gets the people going. I'll tell you that.
Dude, the mysteriousness, that's what we talk about it with like Mallard Order and things like that, but being mysterious like that can really go a long way. And I like that their clues and stuff are actually engaging and interesting. It's not just some weird like little thing, hey dude, go find out this puzzle. Like they were pretty cool about how they did it. So
I'll tell you what, I've done a number of I've created like scavenger hunts before, and you have to think backwards for everything, and it was so mind-numbing. But like for them to do this online for people anywhere to figure out and to integrate coding and art and all that kind of custom websites, That's not a WordPress website. Like, there's no template
Yeah.
for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, true
that.
awesome.
No, it's a really interesting stuff. I love the website's very well done. I like what they got going on. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff going into it. The biggest thing for me with this is there's no Discord, which is like, we're so used to getting to the Discord to figure out what's going to happen. So they've essentially, if you go back to the Twitter and see like the little like files, it looks like police files almost at the very top there, or you can kind of see them there. So these are like people like Dobin. He's like somebody inside that's on Twitter. That's his Twitter name. And they've given them like, you know, these little traits and like affiliations and things like that with a little history. Is Shiny in there, TJ? Keep going through those because I think he might be. So there's people with I believe Shiny might be in there. I don't know where he is.
Let me look up Shiny.
I think he might have retweeted his stuff. So they've got people like I don't know if they're called capos, I guess. That's what Shiny is saying over here when he tweeted this out. But they've got people kind of recruiting right now for them inside the space. So I don't know why he hasn't told us really what's going on at all. So I have no idea. It's more so like, hey, we got this thing we're going to give away for somebody, luckily on stream tonight. I'm like, sure, go ahead and like, let me know what it is. And then he sent us some video, which we'll drop here in about 9 minutes and let that giveaway run.
There he is.
No, it's Chloe the Chameleon. No idea. But yeah, interesting enough, like they're actually creating like these personal profiles for people inside the space. Like there's a few more. I don't know. I'm really mysterious. Like I've no idea what I'm actually looking at yet. It's interesting, I guess.
It took Mallards about a month and a half to finally drop. So they took about a month or a month and a half of building their excitement. So you could probably expect the same thing from here, right?
Oh, I'd assume so.
I'd say so.
At least. I'm not sure what the actual time frame is for them on the mint. I can imagine it wouldn't be like too far off. Like if I had to like guess over there, I'd say we're at least like within like a month, or a month, like something like that. They'd be away because they're starting to really ramp up their stuff now. But I don't know, man. If you guys are looking to get into CNFTs, this is definitely one to keep on your eye. I think I want to say the 1K access list is more so like a white list, I'd assume, and maybe the 213 priority are kind of like they're going to have their own set of NFTs for those people to be able to get in. So those are going to be like the guaranteed like spots. As far as maybe that I'm taking a guess at, I really have no information to back that up at all.
That's crazy. I mean, just with what you showed us with all these different clues, it really reminds me of the second trial with the Mallards, with all the different stuff we had to do with the decoding and getting into that secret website. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Interesting stuff, man. So the art, this is where we've evolved to, from going from just random little like mints of just like little profile pics, and now you got full on blown websites with all these puzzles and clues and mysteriousness that they're building up the hype now. And it's cool to see the evolution.
Well, rug. I mean, this is not a rug type of thing.
No.
They've already subbed a lot. This would be a very elaborate rug.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
That's what I always say. There's like way easier ways to rug. Like they're putting way too much effort in.
Yeah.
No way.
Just a dip afterwards. Yeah, they're not dipping anywhere.
And Dilio, shout out Dilio, is hanging out in the chat over here. But soundtrack absolutely rules, which I 100% agree with. If you guys, once you get off stream here, or just hit that little music button, just go check out that signed oath page. Once you hit the horn 3 times.
Even this page here is interactive. You click on the boom box, you click on the watch here, and the timer.
Changes the time of day.
Yeah, every time, everything about it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So interesting enough stuff over here, but this is something that we definitely have on the eye right now, and stuff for anybody who's tuning in right now. We do have a giveaway that's going to go live in about roughly 6 minutes over in our Discord. So if you guys are not in the F35 Discord, we are not announcing this anywhere. This is just going to be for everybody here in chat. We're going to run it for 10 minutes. It'll run from 9:50 to 10 p.m. Eastern. So you'll have 10 minutes to go ahead and enter that, and there'll be one winner for this. This will get you on the 213 priority list, which I assume is going to be pretty valuable for this project. So if anybody's looking to get in, all it means is that think of it like the Mallard invitations. That put that in good comparison for you. Same thing like the overexposed maybe Genesis tokens, maybe I'd akin it to something like that. That's the best thing I don't know, guess right now. I have no idea. So if you guys are interested in this project, let us know. It sounds like a lot of people in chat right now are pretty cool. Sounds like they have their eye on us too.
Osai did point out that I saw that too in the Shiny tweet. It said he's a capo over there. So I'm curious about that. Like, are they? It's kind of hard to get their story because their website is done well, but it is kind of made in a scavenger hunt kind of way. And since they don't just have like a Discord with a bunch of lore and stuff, it's been a little bit hard to follow. So I'm curious if they are leaning into some sort of like mafia tier type thing. Is there going to be a the godmother, I guess.
Well, Dilly said he's in the club. Dilly, what does that entail, being in the club? Do you know anything else?
Yeah, do you know
we do?
Yeah, give us some inside info, or they shut us
Are you
down
allowed to, or?
Yeah.
I remember Mallard was pretty strict on that one.
Yeah. We're being terrible about pushing this right now. We got 56 people jumping into the chat right now. If you guys are on the video and enjoying the content right now, make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. But you know, we love these live streams. It's really starting to be like the main thing for us, I think. And we always have fun doing this. So thank you guys for all who are tuning in right now.
And type a 1 in the chat if you're interested in this project, or type a 2 if you're not.
Mallards just seem like, to me, the new standard for how to launch a project.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
when I'm looking at different mints, which I've seen, I'm like, okay, this is cool, but Mallards just took it up to a crazy level that I've never seen any project launch in a similar way. So
I 100% agree. And it's not even like, I mean, obviously there's going to be people who be successful without doing it that way, but like for me especially, like I got so engaged and had so much fun like engaging with that. I know Ethan, you were really deep in there too, that like now when I look at new projects, I use it as a standard myself.
You're right.
It's just like oh, either this is cool, it reminds me of Mallard and they're doing a good job, or sometimes it's like they're not, I don't know, like not Mallard Order. I had so much fun doing that. Like I wasn't.
Your hat
I'm
is
not
throwing
one.
me off, dude. I can't look at you.
Yeah, Tom just reminds me like Wario or something.
It does. That's what Aaron. You said that. It's like a Mario hat.
big brain Mario hat right there.
TJ, you want to go to the top of that tweet real quick and one more time post that up there for there. Also, did somebody give me the answer to this? And I've been sleeping on what this actually is over here. Shout out to Half Court Kings. It means the women's city in Spanish. That makes way more sense to me. Mujeres does not sound as good as the women's city. I've been butchering. Thank you for that, Half Court.
Disrespect,
dude. 100%. So if anybody, we got our own shiny F35 or OG, one of our biggest supporters, like long time coming up on here. Dude, love shiny over there. Sounds like he's a capo for her monsters right now. He has a tweet out right now. You need to be following shiny. And us over here, as well as the Discord. So make sure you guys go check him out.
Playoff of Hermosa's like sister? Like, okay, like her monsters.
That could be. Look at that. That'd be a good way to think about it. And I honestly haven't thought about it enough. It's just been so much crazy stuff has been happening that I've been trying to keep up with these ones where you need like the activation, just how we were with like Mallard Order. Like if I run out of a little bit of time, I feel like I miss so much. So they do like random pop-up Twitter spaces too. So it always pays to be like their notifications on for her monsters, because they always will be like, hey, going live at this time, and inside of it they drop like alpha that they only talk about inside there. So like you wouldn't have got that answer to like the dark thing in the text unless you were in that Twitter space or knew somebody who was in there. So it's interesting how they're doing the engagement on this. So
I'm not rolling any R. You're not catching me in 4K trying to do that on stage.
What did you say?
You're crazy. He said you got to roll the R. You can give it a shot. Give it a crack.
Mujeres?
Yeah.
Does anybody speak Spanish over here? I do not.
No, sir.
Unfortunately. Thank you for
you're like
Well.
honorary Spanish.
So is Aaron.
TJ's Italian. TJ's Italian Spanish.
Yeah, because I'm brown. That's it, man. I'm just brought in.
All right, Mujeres over there. All right, so we're gonna go. Cause you want to click back to her monsters real quick. We got a 1 minute countdown before this giveaway goes live, and we're gonna play you guys a video. Just a quick little teaser for this right now. Shiny, courtesy of Shiny too. He put this together for us, so big shout out to him. He's been holding it down. What do we get ready? Go ahead, we'll kick it on.
Right? It won't break your computer if you share it.
No, you should go ahead and you'd be able to do it right now. You got it?
Do I have it? I don't have that video.
Oh, well, I got it for us, guys. We'll kick it off right now.
Do the video. That was a cool video.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It
Shout out to
definitely
Shiny
is the
for making that.
sketch vibe, dude. It's definitely
Oh,
got that
100%.
Fast Furious,
Mhm.
Dominic Toretto crossing the border
Family.
vibe, dude.
100% family, dude. So that giveaway should be live if our bot worked well. You should see a giveaway now inside the Discord under the giveaways channel. You guys have 10 minutes to enter that, and it will, 10 o'clock here in about 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and actually pick the winner out there for that, or it'll pick it for you. Yeah, it's live inside the Discord. Boom, we got 10 people already entered it right now. People are on top of that. So
My ears are still ringing after all those horns. That was
Did
a little
you
loud.
love the loud? I was
That was a little loud.
I literally said that to Tommy when we played it before we started the show. That's kind of loud, dude.
It's
If I
a
put
little
a
bit loud.
disclaimer saying that's pretty loud, lower your volume, but
What?
yeah, I'll be all right.
What?
What?
Well, while we're waiting for that to drop right now, guys, I guess there's been a lot of stuff going on inside the CNFT space, but I wanted to talk to you guys real quick for maybe the next like 10 minutes about like investing strategies. We gave we did a nice little breakdown with the guys over from the Non-Fungible Guys podcast on our actual podcast this past Friday, and kind of listen to like how they've been investing, because they're over on multiple chains. They're not just on Cardano, but they seem to find their way a little bit more into Cardano recently, and more kind of heavily. So for you guys on the NFT side, I guess, Aaron, you're and we can get to you too, Ethan, because you've been making some amazing plays over here. What's your guys' bet strategy been, and what kind of have you started to develop a strategy with NFTs?
Yeah, I think me and Ethan play on two different. I mean, no diss to Ethan, but we do play on different levels, I think, monetarily. So maybe Ethan, if you want to start off, and then I could probably.
Ethan, you made some good moves lately. You got a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
sir.
great moves, dude.
Sir.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just the first couple, it's just really been just doing a lot of research on my own, because not having a lot of money to invest into these bigger projects straight off the bat, I really had to just go through, just jpeg.store alone and just see what was hot and what was coming up. And so a couple of my projects I was just able to get really lucky with, and that's really what helped me take off, to be honest.
So with
Maybe like the first ones are luck, but I feel like the plays you've been doing have been well
Yes, sir.
thought out. Honestly, you really thought about what you were doing. You were playing smart, looking at trades, and you did the right plays. Well done for that.
I mean, there's
So
always like
appreciate
that
that.
level of luck. I know what you mean. Like, it's never a sure thing when you're minting an
Mhm.
NFT that the
Especially
floor
in
and the
minting
market's
process.
gonna,
Yeah.
that the market's gonna respond and take off. You don't know if you're gonna see like a jelly cubes or a mallard, or if you're gonna see something more. What was a journey? Which had like a decent run up, but it's now kind of like settled much
Calm back
lower, at
down,
least compared to a mallard or a jelly. But the strategy comes in is like when you were deciding to sell. Like, you had some good timing there, selling
Yeah.
off of the Mallard mint to get those highs, to be like, hey, I minted this for 90 and I just flipped it for like 1100. What's up? Like,
Yes, sir, yeah.
going. So it's hitting those time where you don't keep it. I know, TJ, you were kind of talking about that, where you were really trying to play and time the Raccoon Society, right? And you think you held like a couple too long, and didn't kind of,
I was telling
Oh,
Aaron that
it's
yesterday when I saw him. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
Isn't that like it's a crazy thing to think now, because the hype, it's all about the hype, especially now when the market, we're still in a bear market, but like, don't forget that at all.
Yeah.
Like there's low volume right now going in. I think we're roughly like 600,000 ADA and a 24-hour volume. So that ADA has to get spread out between multiple projects, right? So it seems to us like, even you saw Mallard take a little bit of a hit this week on the floor price, because people were loading up and getting a little liquid to go ahead and mint Raccoon Syndicate. And now that mint is out, all that ADA got dispersed to there, and now you're watching floor prices start to stabilize back into those other projects after people get in and out, because they're all going for the flip. But if so, and it pays off. You've seen Raccoon Syndicate, which we'll dive into a little bit after this giveaway's up. But you saw, if you got one early and were able to get it onto the secondary market, some people were flipping those for 500-600 ADA. And then the people who had to wait a lot longer, and as the floor and stuff started to settle and the supply started to go up, the floor went down to like 170, 180, 190. So,
and I was flipping to buy back in. Honestly, I just wanted to get that surge, like you're talking about, that pump. I wanted to get a nice little bag going and then buy more, because you needed 6 for the future mints. That's what I was trying to do. Flip high and buy in low when it starts to drop a bit. That's literally what was my play, and it backfired on me.
Oh, 100%. So I've seen it too, and even with the one-on-ones, which I always get made fun of now for having that one-on-one, but because
you know what, I'm tired of you plugging it in every
I'm
time.
gonna plug it, but I'm using it's a great example for things.
I'm sick of it.
the people who sold that at the time sold it for a ridiculous amount of ADA, and now me, I can't, I sell it for a 13th of what it was at that time frame. So it's all about timing when it comes to these, especially with the hype. Like, so if you miss that initial window, like right now, like, do I want to flip my raccoons at 174? No, I'm kind of bought into the fact, unless I want to get rid of the ADA, I'm kind of holding on until they hit their next catalyst event, their news, or something along those lines.
Do it, Dilly. Do it.
Dilly, dude, I was considering buying that one, by the way. That one.
And then I told him not to because I don't want to hear him say he has 2 1-of-1. So
I feel like that's an absolute steal though at that price, I think. Not financial advice. Yeah, but that's interesting though. So have you guys? So Ethan, the one thing for me, like with you, is that your emotional level isn't really tied too much in yet, and that was something we talked about on the podcast this past Friday as well. Is like when we first got into these NFTs, I didn't give a shit about any of these projects. I just get in, get out, make the ADA, and I'm on. And that was my initial goal. And as I started to get pulled into the NFT world, I started to care more about the NFTs. I was more attached to the NFTs. I was more attached to the people we were talking to, and it became harder to just flip right off the bat. So you getting in as early as you are right now into the projects where you hold a valuable asset, even though you hold it, you're like, you flipped out of it, made your ADA when it was profitable, and then you can jump back in later down the line because you have more liquid right now. So I think that's interesting in perspective now to kind of look at that. Do you feel good about how you've been able to stack and flip, or do you feel like part of you is like, I wish I would have stayed in a little bit longer? Like, how's your overall sentiment been?
I mean, I'm feeling real good right now. Just with what you were talking about, I think it's a great starting goal to just be able to build your liquidity and able to amass a little decent bag of ADA. But I mean, there's also that part of me where I'm starting to get tied into these projects for long term. Like ADA knots, I have 12 or 13 now, and I own 8 Mallards right now too. So
yeah, dude. So you were able to flip out a little early, right? You even sold the letter before the actual mint happened, but we're still able to use that liquid to get in and then make your way up and still flip. And then even Aaron too, you grabbed 2 of the letters and sold one of them, and were able to mint yours as well, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's part of the goal, right? It's like, if you're trading with low liquidity, you don't have a lot of dry powder on you, a lot of ADA, in my opinion, you're going to want to flip. You're going to want to like just keep on flipping and build up a base of liquidity here to pick up anything. And then you can make bigger plays. For Ethan, he was doing exactly what he needed to do. He needed to buy low, sell high, flip into bigger portions of ADA, and that's what I think he should be doing. And that's what we talk about all day. We're like, dude, just keep flipping until you have at least like 10,000 ADA or something like that.
Yeah. Where
you could actually start to YOLO into some good projects. And this is just opinion, of course.
Shout out to Chronic hanging out inside the chat. We got 69 people, which is very nice right now.
Let's go.
If anybody over here too, since we got this many people before this giveaway ends in 2 minutes, if you guys are enjoying the content and enjoying the show, make sure to hit that like button. We'd like to see at least 69 likes now. That everybody's sitting there and hanging. And then also make sure to go check out the Cowboys of Crypto, and then Warden. We got to get your handles and everything out there as well. The Cowboys of Crypto as well. Make sure to go check out Aaron and the guys, so they can get you some great information. And I love the interviews and stuff that you do as well on your side.
I was gonna say I love your AMAs because you grill projects fairly. When I say fairly, you're not afraid to ask the tough questions, because I think that is what a lot of people sometimes lack, is when they interview people, they don't ask appropriate questions. They ask like kind of give me answers for the questions in a sense.
Let me ask you something contrarian. Do you think there are people who conduct NFT interviews that are soft and that don't ask really tough questions? I'm not gonna ask who, but do you think that happens in the space?
I think to me, I haven't seen too many. I can see it to a degree, right? Like nobody in Cardano, I feel like there's more like the accepting kind of like mentality and this like overall community vibe with people. Like they're not challenging a lot. Like if you want to see like some good challenging, hard hitting content, like that's where you go to pull up to non-financial advice with Chronic and Tal and the guys over there, because they answer those hard hitting questions.
Chronic, they don't care.
They hit them hard.
That boy Daily, dude, he attacks them. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is abuse right now.
It is. last call real quick over here, guys.
Please relax. You didn't come for your mom like that, dude.
Oh, he goes hard.
And he attacks. So I like that, because in a space where it's littered with rug pulls and scams and bailed projects. We need people. We need people like you guys with Freedom 35 conducting good, fair, getting out like this information from these people. I mean, it's important.
Yeah. TJ, we got our winner, by the way.
Do we?
Over here. Just congrats to Apish. He's got an old money profile pick in there. Only one mutual server, so I don't know who is Apish over there. Is that Hood's trick alt account over there? He's got all the old money stuff, but he's not in the old money Discord.
No, we got a lot of mutual servers, Apish.
Oh, do you? Mine only says that. Maybe mine's tripping right now.
No,
anyway.
no.
Oh, well, congrats to Apish over in the I don't know what I'm looking at, maybe on my phone. Congrats to you, man. We'll hit you up over here and we'll get you that whitelist spot set up with Shiny. But thanks to everybody who's entered in.
Yeah,
42 people jump in.
Shoot one of us a DM on Discord, or there's Shiny. Shoot Shiny a DM on Discord too. One of us.
Yep. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we got that.
Shiny. What's up, Shiny? Welcome to the damn stream now. There you go, dude.
Appreciate that giveaway setup over there. So congrats to you, Apish. Ape into the Her Monsters gang. I did see a little earlier at I don't know if he's still in here or not, but I know we had jumped up to 72 at one point in time here. Let me see if I can find the actual chat here. Did you guys see we had Timmy over from
was he there?
Raccoon Syndicate. Yeah.
Timmy. Congrats on the sellout,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, congrats on the sellout. He goes, Tommy, you can buy my 1 of 1 overexposed. Timmy also owns a 1 of 1 overexposed that he minted as well.
Right. That's because a couple streamers got it, right?
I know Travis.
DJ and Travis. Yeah, keep an eye out for DJ.
Well, I think
and Travis
the DJ,
too, by the way.
Travis actually ended up selling his, right?
He did. He sold it for $4,500, and at the time I thought he was nuts. And now here we are.
Who's laughing now?
TJ wanted to
Who's laughing now?
I think.
What happened?
No,
I did. I wanted to say the joke.
I saw you just waiting right there.
I did. I was like, you teed it up nicely though. That was good.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Shout out to Clark Kent in the chat too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Clark Kent. We need to know that. Shiny, what's up here? How much ADA I got to slide your way? We get that whitelist spot.
Yeah, tell the capos. Can we become some capos out this way? We'll throw them. We'll some more giveaways.
Tell them I'm a friend of yours. You know what I mean?
DJ and Travis has it. Tommy has one and Timmy has one. So all three of them.
We all meant to be overexposed, and the joke's on us. But look at we were getting back to that question though, as far as like interviewing projects, like being soft. Obviously, we talked about non-financial advice. Those guys just go hard at projects. I think with us, I mean, our style of stuff is more like we will not bring somebody on that we don't feel is worth like, providing any value to our viewers.
Them on. Even if it's our first sit down, we kind of vet before we have them come on, because we've been reached out by quite a few. It's just we're pretty particular because we kind of can see where their project is going, and just we're
a little limited on time too. I mean, if we were on every single night, it'd be one thing. We have to fill that kind of time in. I mean, that'd be great. But right now, it's just how we kind of produce things and put into it. It takes us a little bit longer, so we can really got to kind of limit it. Otherwise, you have a bad episode, then there's a whole other week going.
Yeah. And for you guys, like, I guess to throw that back to you, Aaron, like, do you bring on anybody that what's willing to come on, or how does your thing work? Do you vet people first as well, or do you just say, screw it, if you guys want to come on to this show, we'll bring you on, but I'm going to ask whatever the hell I want to ask you, and that's just because it's my platform?
Yeah, I think for me, this is a personal take. I felt like some kind of way about censorship online. I felt some kind of way of like, and I don't want to get too political, but like how people are if you're being told you can't say something or got to say something or being canceled or whatever. So with that ethic in mind, I feel like decentralization, everyone can say their piece. Everyone has a chance. So like, I don't care if you look like a terrible project or you look like a great project, you got your shot. But if you can say whatever you want, I can say whatever I want. And so I want an even playing field is what I wanted.
Yeah.
So to me, it didn't matter if someone hopped on the I'll just let you guys know I'm pretty open about how it's all done. People reach out to me, they say, hey, we got a project, we'd like to do an AMA with you. I'm like, okay, it's going to be $1,300. And the reason for that high bar is because only serious projects mostly is going to pay that price. So they pay that price, they hop on. And if it's a crappy project, like sometimes it is, I'm burning it to the ground. Anyone will, I'm like, hey, who's your team? Why aren't you doxxed? Where does your money go? What's your marketing plan? This is stupid. Why is this not stupid? Explain this to me. So like, I'm asking those kinds of questions. But that's from that ethic of, I don't care if I think it's stupid. I want everyone to have a fair say, and we'll go to battle fairly.
Yeah.
I saw one interview you did like 2 months ago. Your chat was hammering up a project one time. It was actually pretty funny.
Oh, they will.
Mentality, for sure.
Chat doesn't have a filter, right? They're not. They don't have.
I was gonna say they're not face
sitting
to
there
face,
behind
so
there.
they'll say the things that the
Nope.
streamers won't. For
Yeah.
sure.
And shout out Kronk, same way. He goes, you can't let the BS slide, but you can be respectful, and I won't do that on my channel as well. Try to be selective and only interview what I want. I put my money in. So that's everybody has their own stuff, and I agree with that, right? Like it's your channel, your rules on that thing, and if anybody wants to jump on, be prepared to go ahead and ask those hard questions. We're never going to set up a layup interview, like hey, we're just going to t-ball you some questions and not let you address some stuff, especially if there's some big some concerns from people or certain questions they want to ask, right?
To me, it was like I'm looking. So in the BSC space, there's something like you can see on the channel right now. Shiba Inu and Hokkaido Inu, they really did like 200x. They really did these things, and I would have looked at them and been like, "This is stupid."
Right.
But if I missed out on them, I'm like, "Oh, I missed out on that moonshot." I would have looked at half the projects on NFTs and Cardano and been like, "This is dumb as hell, man." You know what I mean? Like, but I'm like, holy crap! Something happened here that I missed. So that also is another thing. Just for me, for you guys, you have a more technical eye. You can see it better. But for me, I'm just like, just bring them all, and I'm gonna filter them with everyone. Everyone's got their say. So that's more my say. I'd like to. I want to ask you a question though, as far as hype cycles with new projects. Is the most hype right after mint, like a day, 24 hours, 48 hours after mint, or does that come later when it's built up a base and then they have some kind of catalyst news that comes out? What happens there?
I think it's both. But it depends on the project too. I feel a lot of
it's been pretty different. We're too new. It's. I mean, now we're almost a year, so we're seeing a little bit more consistency. I mean, because we're just been around to see all the kind of variables happen. But I mean, we've seen it happen across all the things. I remember Block Owls minted. They didn't sell out right away, and then that second mint, that hype on that was completely different compared to the first time when they came out. And it was kind of just like, oh, these are cool little owls. And then, like Tommy said, Deep Clay, he was buying his clays 2 or 3 hours before the mint started, where now you have projects that sell out in 2 minutes.
Can we bet on a project minting if it has a lot of hype, like her monsters, right? Can I really just bet on this trend? If I mint and I wait for a 3x, I sell, it'll most likely come back down to buy in again. Is that like a surefire thing?
Nothing's surefire, right? But you have, especially on the high mints, like take Raccoon Syndicate right now. They're the #1 project, and this just shows how volatile the space is. Obviously, you can see like whatever minted recently or had like a big catalyst event with news are at the top right now within a 24 hours or even a 7-day on there. So you can see Raccoon Syndicate sitting where it's at right now. It's at 178 at floor price. It minted for 120 in the public, which there was very few NFTs in the public. So roughly say about 110 ADA mint price. When you got in right away, if you got your NFT early, this was a little bit different with the way the mint rolled out. It rolled out a little slower because they were running their own custom thing. But if it had come out even quicker than that, the floor price shot up to 500-600 right away. And then it dropped back down. So if you had a floor, my goal and what I didn't do, I tried to, and I got caught. I tried to sell around the 300 thing for the 1 multipliers that I had, the ones that I didn't mind getting rid of. And I missed the wave on that. But had I done that right away and just sold it right, just undercut a little bit on that floor, I could have easily came back now for 170 and picked up almost at least 2 of them for the price of 1 now. So yes, when new projects mint, there's always going to be that hype. Even to take Mallards, for example, right?
I was going to say Mallards. Yeah, once
exactly. I was just
like 750, 800, and now they're down to 450. So yes, short answer to your question, for big hype project, yes, that could happen.
I'm so glad I didn't start sniping some of those. We were sitting there, we did a live stream on the morning of the mint, and we were all looking at secondary while we were sitting there waiting on the order, like Mallards, and looking at them. We were about to start sniping at like 750, 600 on some of these, and then next day, sure enough, they were 500. So I'm glad I did. Tommy, did you pull the trigger on one?
I bought
above floor then though. The first day of Mallard.
Oh, Mallard.
You're watching.
I bought rare traits.
Because the whitelist was the full day before, the public mint.
Yeah. my goal when with these mints, especially, and then sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't, is to go ahead and find people. I do my research as I'm going. I'll check like CNFT Jungle, I'll check tools that they have it up, and I'll just even check JPG, which is good now because you can actually see the percentages of each of these traits. And I'll do my own research to the point where I'll figure out what the rare traits are starting to become, and I'll try to snipe if somebody just, you know, like take Mallard or Raccoon Syndicate, for example. This week there was like generals, and the general had a little star at the top of the corner of the NFT where it was said like F and H under the farmer and hunter. So you can see them there. But if you go to like the generals, there's people who sold those for like 375, not understanding what they are. Now if you go to, you're at high to low, TJ, instead of low to high.
No,
but if you
want to find a general.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Go back to you had it sorted by general. If you just go back one.
No. I'm saying I was showing just people were listening for, so I knew that I'd find general that fast.
Yeah, so if you go now, look at the price. If you sort to general properties and profession down there, go to profession general, and look at the price of these now. People were buying these for 375, not understanding what they were, but now the floor for these is sitting at 900. So if you're able to spot early, that's like my technique when I first get in there, is try to snipe some of the earlier rarer traits. And I did that with Beyond Citizens, and was able to later down the line, if the project is a hyped one, I'm able to ride that hype up with the good traits and then eventually sell those for a lot higher prices. So I try to snipe deals, but there's other people that go the opposite route where they wait for that floor price to hit a certain thing. Like take Mallards, for example. Once the Mallard public mint win happened, I think prices dropped down into like the 250 to 270 range, and people were scooping them up then. And then after the mint happened and everything sold out and the hype really started to build, you saw that floor jump all the way up back up to 700. So anybody who bought in at like the 250 to 270 range were able to flip those for a significant gain of ADA on the flip side. So there's a lot of different strategies involved when you're looking at these projects. It really depends though on how solid a project is. So like Mallard, we bet in with the engagement that they had, that they were going to do well. Like Raccoon Syndicate, same thing. They have even though the mint, it had some problems with it as far as how fast they got delivered. I still, for the most part, will see these things, especially when Timmy drops a real announcement and stuff like this. I can see these things jumping up quite a bit. And obviously not financial advice. Don't go buy it, just based on that statement. That's how I'm looking at certain things. But then there's other projects that you think may be a little bit hyped, and you can see them not really selling out or doing too well. And then, if you got caught buying at the top, or even just as they were minting, you may be left holding that bag on the other end of that, especially if it doesn't do well in this market. Because like you said, there's only so much ADA to go around.
Well, something that was interesting that I learned from trading NFTs was that it's easier to see that I'm trading against other traders, and I'm trading against other collectors, and it's a big game of chicken to me. So it's like, okay, who's willing to sell first and buy early, and so I'm playing against other people like you and anyone else. So,
and some people do not care. They have no regard for their life in that game of chicken.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, cool, floor's 275.
Or they do little decimal points in between each number trying to get you.
Yep, they do that
that's
too.
My question, right, is like, do you guys have a project you trade into these new mints and then trade into, or do you just hold, or do you hold like the rare trades? Like, where do you keep your money? Do you keep it back in? Do you turn it back into ADA? Do you hold these projects long term? Like, what do you guys particularly do?
There's this little project called Yum.
Maybe you heard of them.
That's Tom's stable coin right now.
Yes,
Just
sir.
because I can do
I'm on the
something
Yum
with it,
train
I can
too.
buy in and out. And right now, the seasonals are done. There's just good, like a pretty stable price on it, so I know what I'm getting. It's not gonna like drop by 200 ADA. So you can get them and you can stake them, and I can get some Yummy coin. There's a couple now that are decent though. I know we just started getting some of the clays. The first lamb plots got theirs out, but it's been yummy. I know, Tommy, you were doing something similar, just like any kind of prop I'd make, just like let's roll back into some yummies. And that was also before the seasonal mint, Tommy.
Yeah, so I mean, on my end of the stuff, I'm definitely I stack up ADA, and then if I don't want to be in the project long term, or even if I do and I can take advantage of the hype, like I use Beyond Citizens as the biggest one that I stacked up on. I bought a lot of the rare trait ones when they were low. The hype hadn't fully broken out yet. Was able to flip those during that hype, And then I kept one that I really liked the most out of it, and I flipped everything else. I'm still in the project. I'm just not fully, invested as I was. And then I moved that back into Yummy. I moved that back into Mallards. I use that for future mints on certain things. Or like I think a good strategy right now, which I know Tom's starting to do right now, and then Ethan too, is flipping these projects and then having this ADA, a nice little stack locked away, because you never know when a project might boom, or you might want to go ahead and a great deal may pop up on the secondary where you can be liquid and be like, dude, that's a deal. I got the ADA right now. I'm going to snipe that because I believe something's about to happen, or I can, I just found something really valuable in this bear market. So I think that's kind of a great strategy right now for people who are able to make those flips, holding on to some liquid to be able to make moves.
It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I tend to go into Bitcoin, so that's my ultimate goal. Is I'm trying to trade these NFTs, get into ADA, get back into Bitcoin. But yeah, for right now, I love the trading aspect. I do want to own, I'm thinking of I don't know. I want to own these two Monkey Brothers, Ape Society and Chilled Kong. So yeah, I definitely want to own those. And no Space Buds. Do you think Space Buds was a rug? Is that classified as a rug or no?
No, they'll never be a rug. They're always good. Alessandra is still. They're all committed to the project. They're just redesigning the art right now. So, art's one thing, but that project will never rug. They've got way too much invested in them. The community's too invested in them. I don't think that'll ever go that way. But yeah, I know. But Aaron, man, I know you got to get running here. I know we're taking up usually past that hour time frame, dude. So we appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, man.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much, guys. If you haven't already, give a like to this channel. Give a like to this channel, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already to Freedom35. Check out all their Twitter handles. Check out all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate you guys having me on, especially, and I'm always learning from you guys. So you guys are some of the best that I consistently glean information from. So thank you so much for everything you guys do.
Dude, absolutely, man. Take it easy. I'm sure we'll see you soon.
See you guys. See y'all later.
Perfect. And Ethan, dude, we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight as well, dude. Because you're like the CNFT, like you said, the warden in between those Cowboys out there, and really jumping into the CNFT projects. Did you get a chance to mint these raccoons this week?
So I did mint a raccoon. Big shout out to Chronic. I'm not sure if he's still in here. He was able to get me in on the whitelist. So I minted one for about 110, which was the whitelist price, and I sold for 300. So I take my nice little ADA bag. So.
Dude, so are you looking to, is this something that long term you would want to get back into, or is it something that you got an eye on, or something you may want to pick up down the line? Because the main thing for people right now are trying to stack the 6 in order to get whitelisted for the second tier, which they'll get them 2 spots, and eventually holding on to those 2 will get you 1. So 6, 2, 1. So everybody's kind of building their little squad right now. Is this something that you interested in at all along down the line, or is it something that you're just like, I did what I did and I'm moving on to something else?
I mean, right now I'm in the I did what I did, and I'm just getting ready to move on to a new project. But I mean, who knows? Something could change down the line, and I could get ready for season 2, and you never know.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's like I said, you never know where the floor will sit at that time, and there's always good opportunities to go ahead and yeah, let's just dive back into the chat over here. We got a lot of people chatting right now, and we thank everybody for watching. Still got 47 still hanging out with us, and if anybody knows us, we run these things until at least 11 o'clock. We may try to be a little more strict on that time tonight, but at least we will be hanging out here for a little bit. We got some projects we still want to dive into too. TJ, who you got in chat over there? You're muted if you're talking, TJ. You might want to press. Nope, you're still muted. Everybody's getting the mute button on you right now.
Yeah.
Dude, Dilly's over here saying that pixels are on a fire sale right now.
Yeah, they are.
I seen the floor price for those drop down to I don't know where they're at. TJ, if you have open CNFT, if you can at least hear us, you can pull that up. Yeah, pixels right now are sitting at a $14.99 floor right now. Interesting. And I don't know if there's any news that I know the claiming period for Ding just recently went through, but interesting right there. Those things were sitting at 1 point over 3,000. So 1 pixel equals 1 house. Make sure you guys are taking an eye at that. Looks like we got some apes sitting inside the chat right now. I know we got Words, we got Chronic sitting there, Curly Knox, Highish, Rena Red. I always say I used to call her Renard, but it's Rena Red. Kronos over here, he went hard on Raccoon Syndicate, saying that he bought raccoons, held everything, 28 and counting. I wouldn't put it past the Ape Society. I saw them over in the Discord today for Raccoon Syndicate. I saw Cardano Shield and Slick and Kongzi and all those guys were sitting over there. So I can imagine what the Ape Society is doing with Raccoon Syndicate. It's always a good sign when you see some whales sitting inside these projects. Someone asked too about Aeonium Sky. Warden, did you get into any? Did you try to mint one of those yet?
I don't think so. I personally haven't done any research on the project myself, so I've kind of just distanced myself a little bit because I prefer to just be able to know a little bit about the project first before I really just decide that I'm gonna spend some of my money on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is Aeonium Sky is one of those ones that they had a huge surge recently. They have the art. They're a fungible token too. They're not just you know, there's multiple of the same. So that was interesting to see because the artwork was so detailed, so well done, and so recognizable. But they finally have, you know, they've been around for over a year now. And you know, eventually, TJ, you back over here? No, we can see it. Everybody's PC's rugged tonight. Yeah, we'll make it work. TJ's mic rug, but yeah, dude, that's another one. Aeonium Sky, huge surge recently, which I hold a few of those from. I think I hold like block 7 to the current one. That's definitely one to look into if you're.
You have all the way to block 7. I always forget that.
I think I'm missing 8 on it right now.
Yeah, I remember you missed that one like right in there because they sell so fast. I mean, who were we just talking to about that? Thor? I think it was Thor was saying that. Where he's just like, he missed a few early in. We're like, I mean, when you're only doing a 500 mint count he does these days, or what's it at they do these days? So it's just
they do 500 right now. Aeonium Sky, gone, dude, every time. That's definitely one to keep an eye on though, because they always seem to appreciate and value. And again, that's never financial advice. But definitely something that you want to go ahead and take a look at when they do mint. But I think block is at 16. That's up next. That's going to be, and I don't know if we have a date yet. They always do it like it should be coming up very soon. So definitely keep an eye on Aeonium Sky.
You see Toe Dipper?
Hear me now?
Into the Aeonium Sky 26.
Dude, I don't know what's going on.
What do you say? Minted 1 Aeonium for 26. Just sold it today for 300.
Was that a block or was that one of the vehicles for 26?
26 used to be the mint price for the older blocks, and now
old. Okay.
The original Aeonium Skies, all the blocks like 1 through 9, I think all sold for 22 ADA, and then when they moved over to NFT Maker, they switched it to 26 ADA for the fees, and then the most recent one, I think 15, sold for 55 ADA. So but always been a fair price, and it's crazy to see like these are the blocks 2 that are out there because I think that's when they switched over. I mean, he minted block 10, and I think like someone got the address early, so he had to swap the policy ID to get rid of the old block 10s, and that's why you see blocks part 2 sitting here right now. But these are some of them. Have you seen any of his artwork, Ethan?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. I mean, I think there was a test mint that I was looking at as well. So
yeah,
and like this doesn't even do it injustice.
Dude, the test mint was fucking sweet. I love that test mint picture.
Yeah, it's
test mints are like, dude, those things were like what, like 12 ADA or something like 10 ADA?
Yeah,
10
I mean,
ADA?
that's not only like half price still because they're so cheap as it is. I guess now they're like a fifth of the price. It's still so cheap, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, the test mints were awesome looking. It wasn't just like test; it was like an actual full picture. It's dope.
Yeah, and so they're building 20. When you see the B13, B15, they're just blocks, and there's blocks 1 through 24. So I think we're coming up on block 16. So make one giant like gift. If you go to the blocks part 1, look at the prices of block 1 right now. So this is where when we talk about these minting last year, I actually looked and people sniped some of the block 1s earlier in the year for 5,000 ADA. Wow. If you just type B1 in the search bar, TJ, it'll pop up.
Oh, we're
not there, but in the search bar.
Dude, they got ripped off. 5,000 ADA for 400.
Yep, check out B1, 30K. Wow. 30K.
That's insane.
Yeah, so this is where I'm saying like the fine arts.
What was your first block you minted, Tommy?
I minted block 5. Block 5 was my first mint.
Did you sell it or you still have it?
Yeah, I sold it for like 900 ADA last year. And that was even last year. Like if you put block 5 now is $32.99. So if I would have just held on to it, look at, you see how these pieces of art like appreciate, and it's just because of the quality of the project. There's no like huge roadmap or anything. They have like the astral plan and stuff, but this is just one of those ones that if you're in the Cardano space, you definitely should look at Aeonium Sky in your portfolio. Especially if you plan to be here. Yeah.
And so do all the little blocks like end up connecting together, or is it just all little separate things?
Yeah, is there an image of the one that's so far that they've got them connected somewhere? It's on Twitter, right?
We put it in our Discord. Grimmy was. I saw Grim. Yeah.
Oh, you did make it. Where's it at?
I made the video. Someone did the picture. I made the video so that it all flows together. I don't know. It was probably block 14, so it'd be a while ago now.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to Grimmy because he's jumping in, but Jeremy also had one of them up in there as well. And wasn't it J Hub that we had over in the chat who owns all blocks currently, all including block 1 through
AO Clouds just said that. AO Clouds has 1 through 15 in the
Do
chat.
you really?
AO Clouds
Oh,
said
I
he has
didn't. Oh,
1
sorry, I
awesome.
must have missed that over there. Sorry. AO
He said,
Clouds, you got
wait,
1
that's a
through
good deal. I'll
15?
pay 900. Got all for under 100.
Wow, that is amazing right there. And no res, I have not bought a Kong yet over there. I know I see stuff in the chat right now. I see a lot of like Fluffies and Riot House and stuff like that. Fluffy seems like a big one that's going to be minting. I don't know if did they.
I haven't seen that on Twitter. I know nothing about it though. I know someone was asking about it.
Fluffies, it's like the monster, dude. Like it looks like it is. I've been seeing a lot. August 21st. They got something minting, which is what day is that? This weekend, right?
Yeah, it's this Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. So it's Sunday, and I've seen a lot of people getting in like I don't know whatever their past like kind of details are, but this one and Beat Boys are the two that I see that are minting this week. Beat Boys is also releasing, so I've seen a lot of people get on the Fluffy list. I know Shiny also got on there because he's been grinding hard. This is one I would definitely keep an eye on too, especially with the hype and everything. If you're able to get into, I'll definitely be trying to mint one of these on Sunday as well. Just even if I don't know too much about the project, I can tell you about a hype alone that this is something that at least in the short term, I feel like it will at least do something. Whether I hold on to it or not, I don't know. You never know.
I actually like these are pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I kind of they've grown on me for sure.
Take some time to look into this tomorrow. All right, you said it's this weekend. This mint is. I'm trying
Sunday, yeah. I know people can get in priority wise right now, and people have been getting on like the Fluffy list. They've been sending them little letters and things like that. And there's also what's the other one? That Beat Boys. I'm a big fan of Beat Boys. I just also get the hall passes have jumped huge in price recently, which are similar to like the invitation letters or the high trip passes from Journey, things like that. TJ, you got Beat Boys at all? I don't know if you're talking or not, but
I always get that one confused with the Beast
Mike
Boys that minted. What was that, like 3 weeks ago, Tommy?
Oh yeah,
Beast Boys.
Beast Boy Club, maybe a while back.
Beast Boy Club or whatever.
Yeah. So what's that? Hold on, TJ, go to the top up there. There's a date there at the very top. Not August 20th, but 12 p.m. UTC. So that's the main collection mint. So that's Saturday. So if you hold one of the hall passes, which are on secondary right now, or the house and collect, they drop some like collectibles as well. August 16th, you get a full 24 hours to go ahead and mint. So that's actually was that tomorrow? So we'll see what happens. Hall pass, house, and collectibles drop. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What's up, dude? We can hear you now.
God, I don't know why you're doing that.
You're getting burned out over there, dude. You're hosting. Yeah, computer's taking a toll now.
It never does this. Maybe
That's
it's her
crazy,
monster's website. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I see Sil over there talking about Derps, which we talked about Derps a little bit this past week as well. They're surging because everybody's like moving into this next phase. But these are like the two ones that I guess this week, if you had to like, hey, we're minting this week, like these would be the two I'd say I'd be going after. It'd be Fluffies and Beat Boys.
Beat Boys.
Well, I was gonna say Fluffy's kind of like gives me like a Rick and Morty kind of vibe, especially when he's like
that's what I was thinking.
Taking like the shots of the potion there. He just gives some Rick and Morty vibes right there.
I'll be curious. I haven't really researched it enough. I've just been seeing it so much on Twitter where I haven't been able to participate in like all the stuff that they've got going on. So I kind of been watching from. They do have like a Medium article. They've got a pretty good following too. 6,300 people right there. I think this is one, dude. I swear with these guys. Like I think we tried working something out and we just weren't able to get something set up early on when they were first getting going. Yeah, dude, this is definitely one. I'm curious, guys in the chat, are you guys looking at minting these right now? I see some people like Rena Red over here, excited for Fluffies, Beat Boys, and Her Monsters. These seem like the new ones on the block right now. Yeah. And obviously, we also talked about or that's happening on the 31st, which we'll probably jump into a little bit more next week. But look at Oside. I'll trust Oside. Oside's in every single thing going on right now. Oside, that the Fluffy engagement is off the charts, truly. So that's maybe one you want to keep an eye on right now.
So even just this tweet, the 14th, has 1,000 likes.
That's always a good measure, right? Like to figure out how projects are like really becoming engaged is like, like check out like how many people are, if they have a Discord, how many people are in it. If not, like what's the engagement on all their stuff. So it's an interesting way to go about it. But we got Q sitting into the chat over there. Fluffy list and public mint will be at the same time. 90% supply is for public. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So there's a chance to go ahead and appreciate that.
You're
Justin.
saying there's a chance. Let's go.
Yeah, so
Well,
we got
not
some
bad.
people.
What's the? Did they say the mint price? I wasn't paying attention to this on the mic. Did they say mint price or no?
I don't have the mint price. If somebody knows it right, oh, there's mint details right there. You just missed it on the link tree. Maybe you can get because it's in the Medium article, so they got you all set up right here. See, I need to play catch up. So yeah, public mint 86.10.4 for the team.
So 6,000 for the public. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's dope.
69 ADA. What a
Nice.
steal. Love
Nice.
it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many per transaction is the ticket? Oh,
One
99 cents.
NFT per transaction, unlimited transactions. So pretty much, unless you have multiple wallets on the ready to go, you got one shot at making this. I'm assuming that this is probably going to, be one of those instant sellouts.
Yeah.
But if you are on the fluffy list, like you said, 69 ADA. So that'd be dope.
Yeah.
It's not a pass, and it's an actual list. Then I'm assuming. It's
Yeah,
not
you
like,
had to get on the list. Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
like you could buy it. Yeah, you had to like earn it.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Got
Shout out J Hub. What's going on inside the chat? Appreciate everybody hanging out.
it.
We have
Well, dope too.
Yeah, no, this is one I wish we would have like looked at a little bit more. Unfortunately,
Honestly, I think it was like around the time where I was getting ready to leave for the baby and everything.
Oh,
so I think
yeah.
we just had a lot going on in schedule wise.
we're terrible about emails, guys. If anybody sends us emails, we're sorry. Sometimes the best way to reach us is just Twitter DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get back to you guys. Just a reminder for everybody who's hanging out with us inside of chat and enjoying the content to make sure to hit that like button if you guys are enjoying us. If you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing if you enjoy what we got going on. We're here every Monday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern at least. Sometimes we go Freedom After Dark. Tom's rocking the Wario hat. I don't even know what size hat that thing is, but it's...
And give the
I'm
warden
still throwing
on
it, throws
Twitter
me
too.
Triple extra.
I think it
large.
looks like what's his name, Toad.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Toad,
look
okay.
Yeah, Toad has like like that big.
I'm thinking more Wario.
I could
Yeah,
see
that's what
that.
I was
It's
saying,
kinda
Wario.
a-
Yeah.
Let me see.
If you
Wario
get Tom
hat.
a little mustache right now, it'd be chilling right now.
It is a pretty Wario hat.
A little
actually.
fake
That's pretty
mustache.
accurate.
Oh, yeah. If you get like the old school Wario,
No,
too,
what?
like...
What's the skinny Wario? That's what I'm thinking.
That's
of.
Waluigi.
Oh, Waluigi.
Waluigi,
Yeah.
yes.
No,
That's what I'm
maybe.
thinking of.
It could be.
That's the same hat, I
100%.
think.
Oh, yeah.
They all have the same hat.
Yeah, we just got. I guess it's the color. Yeah, but Waluigi. Dude, it still blows my mind that Waluigi's a thing. Oh man. But anyway, yeah. So Warden, what do you after seeing some of these projects right now? Did you have your eyes on any of those, or what were you? Have you been looking at, if anything?
So I had seen a little bit about the fluffies. I've seen the little like invitation tickets, I guess, for the fluffy list. So those have been pretty cool. I love seeing just all of the different artwork and just how every single website is truly unique from one another. I mean, you can tell which projects actually spend the time to actually want to have that community engagement and community building within their project.
Yeah. Well, for me, especially, like I said, it's good to see. I mean, we're getting away. It's weird right now because I'm not like even just take her monsters and now Fluffy, like without having any of these Discords ready to go. It's interesting because it's a new way of doing things. So I don't know if we're going to shift to a meta like that. I know a lot of people sometimes get frustrated with Discord. Or they feel like they miss stuff, or there's just too much to catch up on. Because I know eventually, like I'm maxed out my Discords over, and I have to clean a bunch of those up. So it does happen to become overwhelming for a lot of people, and sometimes people miss out on things too, just because of how busy they get. So I'm interested in how these will actually work, especially her monsters over there. But no, definitely Fluffies is something I think that's on the list, and I think Beat Boys, I really do enjoy what they got going on too. I like their videos and stuff. Reminds me, it's got like a Simpsons kind of vibe, like setup over there, some of the art style. Look at we got Crawford though. Go back to chat over here. Crawford's always in every single one of our chats over in Blake's stuff as well. He's always a supporter. Goes, I don't plan on minting anything anytime soon. Just sniping projects that I've been building. New mints are essentially seed funding. Will take months and years to build, which I can agree with that. I think also, especially in the short term, any of these new projects that are minting, it's a good way to, up your stack of ADA too in the short term. Like you said, you can go ahead, buy in, flip out, make your ADA, and then if you want to jump back into it later, there always will be an entry point.
Yep, especially
what
at
I'm
that
doing. I was
level
going to say, yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. I think some of these projects are years out to where they're like end goal, but I'm still going to, the big ones, I'm going to mint flip those son of a bitch to get that ADA in my wallet.
Yep.
I mean, that Raccoon Society mint this last weekend, if you missed out on it, everyone saw it coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a perfect hedge
That's
in
all
like
we
the bear.
talked about.
in the bear market right now, right? Like, how else can you really, like, the market seems to be down, but you get a brand new mint that's hyped up right now. You can flip your way in and out to make some ADA in the short term. And then, like you said, if you want to be involved in the project longer term, you know, there's going to be a buying and entry point for you to do that. So you can take advantage, like you said, of the hyped mints, even if you don't plan on them being there long term. It's a good way to increase that ADA stack for anybody who's looking to do that. So there's multiple ways to do that. And then eventually you dial back in, because you got over here, you got like J-Hub saying, and I know you as well, Warden, you got sniping more Mallards, which you've also, how many you're up to again? You said maybe 8?
8, yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and what's been your reasoning to get back into Mallards? Because obviously you've been flipping some ADA up. What do you know, is that just a project you plan to be in long term, or what's been the method for you to even have to jump back in there?
So I mean, just with all the community engagement just alone, I mean, I always keep it right near me. I have my nice little Mallard that I made in trial 1 too. So I mean, it was just fantastic to see what they did, and it was kind of just out of nowhere, because it was that first project that really brought out those letters where it kind of surprised everyone, because it was so secret. You had to really stay secret and not give out information, even if you were in the Discord. And I mean, just personally, I went in as a stranger, and I had to do all of that little, like, being active and just being engaging inside their little chats to actually build myself up into the Discord. And then I was super blessed to be able to win invitation trial. So I mean, just a lot of great things have been going on with that project, and I'm just super excited about it, hopefully going into the future.
Dude, that's perfect though, because it's like a project that you know, whether it's mooning right now or not, it's something that you're building it. You know, you use that hype time to be able to make whatever bag that you were looking to stack up. And now that, as you know, people move their focus into other things, and while Mallard's still building, you're able to restack and get invested into that project, not at the high, right? Like you're buying in at a good time, like, or potentially a good time.
Yeah, especially with that little dip that we were talking about, because I mean, it ran all the way up to 750. I know we mentioned it a little earlier, and now it's at like 450, I believe. So
right, and you're stacking right now for the next push when they put out whatever their next announcement is going to be, right? For that would be maybe the next pump up to the point where it doesn't hit, you know, it retraces a little bit, but establishes a new floor. So you've got in during that time frame, which I think that's kind of how I always looked at Yummies. For me, was I had always, you know, made my ADA doing whatever kind of flips and things that I did, but Yummy was always a project I wanted to be in long term. So I like kind of doubled down on anything, and any dollar cost averaging too, I'd always put it back into Yummy. And now sitting where I'm sitting over the last, like I said, year with them, I've owned, you know, sitting over 50 NFTs, and event, you know, that didn't come overnight. That took a long time to build. But now I'm positioning myself for the next run whenever Yummy takes off to do whatever they're doing next. And that's just, you got to have conviction in that, right? Like I believe in that project, and that's the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. For a lot of these things, I did want to kind of, we can address this over here, and I see a lot of people talking about this today over on Twitter. And I'm curious to get some thoughts over in the chat about that with Cornucopias. Cornucopias had, you know, one of the, maybe they had the most historic sale with their land sale. The last, maybe that was back in June, I think their land mint was, and ridiculous amount. I forget what the actual dollar value was they're actually pulling in, but they're getting a lot of hate right now over on Twitter due to the fact that they've launched their new like the custom domes, and the pricing for that is just insanely it's priced in fiat. It's not priced in ADA right now. And I forget what the actual dollar values for some of those things were, but they were not cheap. And people are starting to get to the point where they're getting frustrated with them, because they feel like it's, you know, in the NFT space, that's a lot of money that, mint after mint after mint. And I've seen the counter argument to that, where it's a AAA game that they're trying to build on Unreal 5, that they're trying to get the funding to continue up with the higher amount of team. So it's definitely interesting. You know, do you have a perspective on that? Did you get a chance to mint Cornucopias?
So I personally didn't get a chance to mint it, but I mean, our good buddy over at the Cowboys of Crypto with Saran, the Crypto Bandit, he minted a couple of them, and he ended up actually pulling a large rare land. So that was pretty cool. So
this is what's got people all heated then. For anybody, I did mint a few of them, and I flipped out of them already. And I actually just, even today, I just sold another one of my uncommons that were out there, just for the fact that these are going to be out there. You know, it's going to be a while before these guys actually fully get out what they're trying to build. I know they got their mobile beta test or alpha. I don't know if it's a beta or an alpha that's going on right now for the mobile version. I know we got a lot of, even Eddie Z is a big one over for us for Cornucopias. I'm curious to think what people are thinking about these prices right now, because it seems that people are frustrated, at least in there. Tom, I know from a gaming perspective, what's your thoughts on any of this? Do you have thoughts on this?
That is a little rough. It's something that I've always said is going to be like a barrier for any gaming project that comes in. It's even stuff I've talked about with like metaverses and stuff like that, where it's cool and all if you were there for the mint day, but how do you then build your or expand and grow your audience if everyone that knew that comes into like Clay and wants to get in the metaverse has to drop like $2,000 to even like get an entry and check it out? It's just not really like sustainable as far as like growth goes. It just kind of
Right.
seems crazy. So like as opposed to like other projects, like Wolves of Rome, where they're gonna have like ways to play for free, and then you can like indulge or like or get involved in the minting side of like minting your assets and stuff like that, or even Yummy, where they're gonna have like free to play sides to their game, where you're gonna be able to get in. Just allowing people to get in is such a huge step, and I just don't see how that makes sense to make it so restrictive. It's great in the short term to get that funding, that makes a lot of sense, but like you're just cutting out. So like, why would you restrict your own project to so much of the market by making it so expensive?
And it's interesting because maybe they have certain metrics, like you said, they got a team to fund, they have a game to build, so this is the funding that they're looking to get. But there's only so much ADA in this space, right? To go around. So eventually, like you said, they're up to like, I don't know, like 57 something thousand assets right now, between everything that they got going on. And I know they have on their roadmap, which they've got it all detailed out. It's not like they're hiding any of this information as far as what it is they're doing. They got like, I think like 4 more sales or something like that on their roadmap that planned for this year still. So
Exclusive doesn't work for video games though. That's not how you play games. You want
Yeah,
a
I
massive
agree.
audience. You want the most amount of people playing possible. Collections, you want that to be exclusive. I don't want a bunch of assholes having the same cool thing I have. That's why I'm a collector. But if
True,
I'm playing
yeah.
a game, I want there to be people playing. And if there's a small community, especially a game that's meant to be a metaverse, like with tons of things going on all the time, it just doesn't work when it's such a restricted community. And right now, with the prices the way they were, I feel like the mints that they had, a lot of these were bought up by single wallets or single people that had a shit ton of ADA to stack on these because they're looking at future flips down the line and not because they're actually invested in playing any sort of the game. So you're not building like a gaming community, you're just building this flipping community of whales that are able to buy it up and then hopefully flip it down the line. And the regular guys that actually might be like, hey, I actually would try this out. This looks like a cool racing game. Are like, oh, fuck, $220 US? I don't know about that, man. I'm going to go play a game that's already out that works really well, like a Forza or Gran Turismo or something.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of stuff inside the comments, and guys, I'm not gonna pull this back off screen share because I'm gonna break us if not. I'm seeing a lot of stuff over here about that in the chats. Though people are agreeing. JPG is kind of saying the same thing. Some people are feeling
that's true. Well, what's his name said? Was it JP? AO Cloud? They are going to have some free to play aspects. That's what I'm still waiting to see where that's going to be because they have so many assets now between everything. And technically, if you got the Javelin, you know what I mean. You're also kind of free to play. I mean, you didn't pay for it at that point. I mean, you're still restricted to having that Javelin, but you got a good deal there. They definitely stuck by their community when they messed that up. I did like seeing that, and I like what I've seen so far. I just don't like the idea of like, come on, you got to have people playing. You know, if the game's $500, you're not going to have a whole bunch of people on at a time. So that's just my only concern when it comes to actually the gaming side of things. As far as the actual value of NFTs go and stuff like that, I think they're doing great, and they look cool. I want to race. The racing that they've only shown the single one on the track. At least that's the last update I looked into. They may have had some more footage out, but damn, it looks awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And Sill's over here saying, look, people are here to make money at the floor prices above mint. People are happy at below. People are pissed. Bottom line is people don't care about the metaverse. They care about making money. And I think like that's to the point that you're saying, Tom, is that at the end of the day, these aren't gamers that are looking to game on some of this stuff. They're the land sales, at least in the short term, people are just buying that up to make the money. And that maybe goes against what the gaming community is. And I think that's the
they're never going to get
contradiction.
The gamers. And that's my thing. So like, I agree with that right now. We're a little, it's only been about a year for most people. So that's kind of where everyone's at. That's why a lot of us even got into this or even got on our radars. Someone was like, yo, I'm making crazy money in this. Come over here. And it's like, oh, this is easy. I just click a couple buttons and copy and paste an address and 5 times my money. Dope. But as far as Cardano goes in the future and growth and the next 5-10 years, we constantly talk about getting artists involved on Cardano, musicians, digital media artists, movies, whatever it may be. And if it's just people looking to flip, you're never going to have that if those people don't have the support in the community. And the same goes for games. If it's just people looking to flip and no one's actually here to game, no serious gaming developers are going to look this way, because there's no money to be made as far as continued growth in the game. You look at like GTA 5, which is like billions of dollars. And I mean, we were playing that 2013, Tommy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just how old that game's been around. People have been playing it online since then, because they're
still playing it now too.
Exactly, they're still playing it now. Like, it came out back then, and they're still coming out with updates and releases and making shit tons of money on it. They made a good game. So there is money to be made for like them on that side. Those developers won't come to Cardano if they don't have anyone playing it to continue that growth, and they're just flippers. It's never going to happen. If we want to grow the space out and get more people involved, there's just got to be some other ways of looking at this, as opposed to just, because even then, I'm not questioning that their project specifically. I'm not trying to, but even then, if they're just like, oh, we're just going to say all this to pretend for values so the flippers can make their money, that's also not what I want to see. I want to see projects really working and developing towards some of these end goals. Otherwise, when they start, when we start getting to the 2-year mark and stuff, and a lot of these projects may not have hit what they promised, then you really start getting some skepticism and mint new projects. And it's like, well, I've been in this project for 2 years and never did anything. Why would I mint a new one? And then it could really be bad for the whole space.
Yeah.
I mean, even especially seeing the owners to supply ratio, if these people are just trying to come into the space and build these new games, and they see these projects that have already been here for a couple of years, that it's really low owners compared to supply. It just, because obviously with cornucopias, with these high prices, you're not going to have all these people being able to buy it. You're going to have these people who've been in the space for a little bit, where they've made a little bit of money and they have that money to spend.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting conversation. We got a lot of people out here could definitely have some opinions on this, and it's been big conversation over there. Crawford, I didn't know this at all. I do remember cornucopias made derps take the financial hit for the javelin. I don't think that was a good move. Curious about that, because I know derpers were helping out with the minting service back then when the javelins were launching, and then they had a botch on the reservation system, or something wasn't working, it didn't queue right up for everybody, and they ended up having to pause the mint, and they ended up giving away all the javelins for free to everybody in queue, and even added more javelins to make up past the supply they had original. So they ended up minting out, I don't know, it was like another 1,000 or whatever it was. So I'm curious. I don't know. I didn't hear that. So if they actually, derpers took the financial hit for the javelins, because it was like 1 million ADA, or something crazy like that, where they would have made, or roughly like 800,000 ADA, something like that, for that mint had they sold it out. If they did that, that's actually really interesting. I did not know that. I have to look into that a little bit more. Interesting though, and then I know JPG is saying, he's got a lot going on. He used to be very bullish on the project, but now the prices are what's turning everybody off. But again, this is all stuff you don't have to buy. You can still play the game free to play. This is just interesting how, if you're looking to be a part of this universe, or at least these custom ones, it's definitely going to cost you a little buy-in, with not short-term utility. Like, you're not going to be able to play this stuff right away, but will it get you into further mints and things like that? Sure, but I don't. It's going to be a topic of conversation, I think. I was going to say foreseeable future.
And sometimes, Tommy, the problem, even with just that, like a good example, let me see if I can pull their floor price here. Get it here.
Yeah, and I got a lot of people in chat over here. I know Eddie, you're definitely big on cornucopias, and I know he's not meant for everybody. I think it's meant for a DAO and investing or building up a brand. Imagine being able to host a cornucopias esporting event. Traffic does to the land, and I agree that'd be cool to be able to do that. But I guess more so for me and stuff like that is like, what's the realistic reality that I would do that? Like, would I actually do that, or would I just wait for some big whale that wants to do that eventually to buy that away from me? It's all speculative, because this metaverse thing is still so far away as far as realizing what we actually are envisioning it to be, especially cornucopias, because of how long their actual rollout plan is going to be to actually get it to where they want it to go. Because what they're building is super ambitious. It's just, I don't know. It's definitely sparked a different. The metaverse used to be the play back in the day, and nowadays it's people are turned off by that word just because of how long it's taking for stuff to go. Where I did see, Crawford, I saw your comment earlier about Cardania is building an Unreal 5, and you don't see the prices from them, which interesting how this is. We could dive into this all night on this.
Well, I wanted to say one thing you also do, even as a consumer, investor, flipper, when the price is that high, and even if the floor maintains, and it's like, okay, the floor didn't go below one price, we're doing awesome, you're still restricting your potential like pool of buyers. Because as an example, like, you know, there's some projects that even if you get a really rare one, overexposed for Tommy is a good example, there may not be the market to be selling them at 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, even though technically that could be what it's valued at because of its rarity, like just because it is something that's exclusive. But if you look at overexposed, I'm looking at it right now, floor's 95, and in the past like 2 days, there's been a shit ton of them for selling for 95 to 100 because people are able to buy those ones. They're able to scoop up the floor. They're not selling the ones for 500, 600 because just that amount of people looking for them at that price is that much smaller. So when the floor is that much, you know what I mean? It kind of just restricts the secondary too. People aren't going through and buying 15 that's, you know, 700 or whatever.
I think the people that are buying up all these land plots and all these things are obviously the people that can afford to do it, and they're looking to make profit on it longer term, most likely. For the, if they're stacking them in that kind of way. For the average CNFT investor or owning one of those, maybe just for as a speculative play, is kind of like it's definitely a gamble. Like you said, it's a long-term play. It's not something that's going to immediately jump for you, at least in this market. And I've seen, you know, I agree with this too over here, JPG as well. Where if people are doing these esports, there has to be a ton of people in the metaverse itself, and right now that doesn't seem realistic, based upon where we're at currently. For a few years from now, you never know. It's definitely I think the gaming ones are very interesting when it comes to NFTs, because at first, like, you can't build a game to be an NFT game. You need to build a game to be a game and let the NFTs integrate into that somehow. Because if people have some weird barrier to entry with crypto and they have to like navigate with that and it becomes a problem, you're not going to want to play that game anymore. You're just it becomes an annoyance at that point. You're not you shouldn't be focusing on that.
100%, Tommy, because I mean, even on the level of like PC game, you know, we now game on PCs, but they're, you know, which most anyone that really games on a PC is like consoles are, you know, the PC is the best one, Master Race or whatever. Consoles are just not the way to go, but they're just not as accessible. It's more expensive. It takes more maintenance. There's more troubleshooting. You install games, and it's like, I don't know why the fuck this isn't working. Discord's not getting any sound. DJ's getting rugged when we're trying to play. And Xbox is pretty straightforward. Not to say they don't have any problems, or PlayStation, whatever. They're just that much simpler. Like, I came home, I put Madden in, I played for 25 minutes, I was done. That was dope. And when you start then like, okay, you got to make a wallet. All right, cool. So I just like load my like bank into it or debit card. No, then you got to go to Coinbase and you got to buy on there. And then you got to wait for the transfer to go through. And then you got to send it to your other wallet. And then from that wallet, it's like a whole thing, you know? And like you're saying, Tom, there's just some people that are like, yeah, man, I'm just going to go back to playing FIFA. Like, that was working fine for me. That was cool. Like, what is this game again? You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, sure, it looks like a mobile game, whatever. Like, until they start getting some serious stuff, they're not going to get those guys over.
There's going to come a shift eventually, but right now the amount of people that want the play factor just for the ease of use are way higher than the people that want to make the money on their NFT assets to own them. As far as most of the general public is concerned, they could care less that if they buy their downloadable pack and it's gone in a year because the game's moved on, they could care less. Versus the people who are like, I want that, I paid for that, and I'm going to be able to sell that in the future. Right now, there's a big imbalance there, and until people can actually see what that technology can do, and it can do it in the right way, you know, it's going to be tough to break into that market. There's going to really need to take some pioneering. You kind of could have seen that with Axie Infinity as a good example of that, where people originally were making money on it and they started playing the game. Then it became a grind to a point where it was just like, this isn't even fun anymore. And there's way too high of a barrier to entry right now. I'm just going to go play another game. It's definitely different. So not mean to dive into some huge gaming topic like that, but it's definitely an interesting one. And I know a lot of people probably have some good opinions on that. One of the last things I know we had on the topic list tonight was the Clay token. We are officially, it's been airdropped. I think probably like this afternoon, I saw my Clay come in for the pitches. Ethan, did you hold any land pitches at all for Clay?
No, sir. It was a project I was looking to get into, but just seeing the floor price rise because a lot of people were catching FOMO, it wasn't a good opportunity at the time for me to get it. But yeah. I've seen the pitch prices drop now, but I mean, that's just obviously because all those people have already gotten their Clay token. They're just trying to offload.
Oh, absolutely, dude. So this was a play we've kind of talked about over on here, was that loading, you know, speculative play too. Is that, you know, those pitches that were, I think they run up to like a 500 floor roughly. So like anywhere from 420 to 500, I believe it was. and now we're sitting at a 250 floor right now, floor price for the pitches. And so you can get some good deals right now too, by the way. Like if you're trying to get a medium, a large, or any of those, like the floor prices are pretty low, like even 730 for a large pitch right now in Bake Nation.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy when those were selling for almost, I don't know, like 2,300 to like 3,000 at one point. So definitely a good buying opportunity. But the Clay token got airdropped out to holders that were either baking or that held the land pitches right now. And people were speculating on the price of this stuff and how much it would be. And definitely not as high as I thought it would have been. But I don't know. I guess I don't know what my expectations really were. I heard rumblings early on that if you had bought like a pitch at 500, you would potentially be worth that. At 5,000 would be about roughly 500 ADA and pay for itself. The current price of Clay is sitting at 0.0205 right now. So essentially, if you were to get 5,000, Clay token, what would that get you? Roughly 100 ADA, 102 ADA right now.
Cool.
I don't know. Like I've seen a lot of different takes on this too. Let me see if I can pull the screen.
That's not a bad price though. I mean, obviously, hey, if it's 10,000 ADA, I'd be a lot happier. Like, of course. But I mean, it's not there. You know what I mean? They're still developing so much that this is supposed to have future use for. Not much too much to be expected. Unless you're just thinking that the hype is going to blow it out of the water for no reason. Then it's going to always have some huge crash after that because there's just no real use for it. So the hype's going to die down. People are going to sell out. They're going to need money out of the places. So it's just, that's not too bad. We'll see what happens as they, the bigger thing will then be getting the 3D universe going, getting some pants on my Clay, and we'll see take it from there.
Yeah, I think anybody who bought for the airdrop, never do. That's never a good move. I mean, it's a speculative move, but I don't think it's a good move, especially when, like you said, Tom, there was never like an immediate utility plan for this token right now, right? The incentive right now, they're trying to get you to hold without baking for a potential like multiplier in the future. So I don't know what people expected out of this. This is kind of like in my wheelhouse of it makes sense to me. And I think this is a good play right now. I have no idea. Like, I don't know if this coin is going to be like the ape into like an ape coin or something like that, like long term. But it's going to be there to fund their ecosystem. And if Clays keep going, then sure, it has all the potential to really rise. But me, like personally, I'm not stacking it right now. I'm more so kind of waiting the price discovery kind of phase and see how it really happens right now. Because like you said, most of the time when stuff gets airdropped, people's immediate reactions, oh, free ADA, dump. And then the price drops on this stuff, so which we've seen a little bit. So I'll be curious to see how this recovers in the next like month or two for this stuff.
Yeah, just with all the coins in general, especially how they're always moving up and down. But I mean, most of them have trended downward so far, so it'll be cool to see in the future.
We got not a lucky dirt, bro. I was trying to grab Grimmy over here.
I've been looking though, Tommy. Which ones actually got the airdrop so far?
Every pitch. So Grimmy over here, if you own any of the Baked, the Clay, or the Sonic Village or the Underworld, any one of those would have got you. If you would have done the actual, if you baked your Clay, you would have got it for that. But no, Grimmy's saying over here, oh yeah, you should have gotten it today. You don't have it on a smart contract, right?
No, sir.
Oh, it should be in there. Or maybe it's still dropping out. I have no idea. But Grimmy was saying that the 5K Clay.
I'm gonna write Snoop Dogg. 1 second, let me tweet him.
Hit him with where's my Clay? Grimmy's saying that the 5K Clay would have made it a free mint if you minted your pitch. So I mean, that's a good way to look at it too, right? True. You've essentially got a free pitch and then hold on to it for the long term. So that's a good point right there. We got TJ hanging out over there in chat right now, so it looks like he's got the baby duty.
What's up? I got no Clay here.
Look, Curly is saying now is the time to buy Clay. I'd be curious to think why you are saying that right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Be interesting to see. All these coins at 0.02, there's not a lot of risk. I agree, JPG. There's really not. But it's especially Clay. If I had to bet on like a project long term, like Clay is definitely one I'd be looking at right now. You can still have it in the marketplace. You still get the drop. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I didn't know so you didn't have to have it in a smart, or if you had it in a smart contract, it went straight to your wallet. Oh, dude, this chat keeps jumping on me right now. But anyway, so Clay token for me is something that I don't know if I'm going to stack right now, if I'm going to kind of sit and wait. I'm not baking though. So if I have my Clay, I'm definitely not baking. And then shout out to I know someone said it over in the chat, but to Tyler with Spaces over from the CNFT news team. I know he got hired on as the Clay team, produce some of the 3D assets. So stoked to see that for the community. I know people were stoked for that. So congrats to him.
Huge.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. Like they got a great person to go ahead and be added onto that team, especially who's an OG inside this space. So big congrats to Tyler. But Warden, dude, we're getting close to the 11 p.m. We've given away that the priority slot at 213. Big shout out to Shiny over there for letting us get a chance to display that here. And definitely there's 3 mints, like I said, that we're keeping our eye on, which we don't have a date for her Monsters gang, but we have Beat Boys this week, Fluffies this week, are 2 that we're looking at. Keeping an eye on Raccoon Syndicate. I know we didn't fully break into that mint, but I think we'll save that for the podcast this week for you guys on Friday. And then Warden, dude, appreciate you jumping on for the first time into our channel. So how's it been for you?
I mean, it's been fantastic. We're super excited. We're really thankful and grateful that you guys were able to have us on tonight. So I know I speak for Aaron, and we're very grateful that you guys were able to have us on.
Yeah, dude, we appreciate it. We definitely won't be the last time.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely won't be the last time. And Warden, dude, if people are looking to find where you're at over on, you're starting to build up your Twitter, right? Like I know.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Like the long term. If you guys are looking inside the chat right now, make sure to go give Warden a follow over on Twitter. Twitter, the Crypto Warden. He's got the dope Mallard sitting in the background now. You can see all the different things he's been picking up.
Nice little naked static.
Yeah, and then we wish you the best, like you said, on your CNFT journey, man. It's always fun to hang out. That. And yeah, if you guys are looking to get we talk every Tuesday night, and it may not be us, it may be Chronic, maybe some of the NFA guys, or just even new guests that they're bringing in. I think we had Esco. You guys had Esco on last week.
Yes, sir.
So you guys are doing CNFT Tuesdays every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. Is that right?
Yes, sir. You hit it right on the head.
Perfect. So if you guys are looking to hang out and possibly see us over there as well, make sure to check out Tuesday nights. They got you covered over on the Cowboys of Crypto channel, which we've linked over inside the bottom of this video. So TJ is out on baby duty. Tom's still rocking the hat, doing his thing. Warden, dude, looking good with the cowboy hat. We appreciate everybody who's hanging out over here and chat with us tonight. We're going to go ahead and shut it down somewhat on time, but we can always catch you guys over in the Discord, and we will see you guys on Friday for our podcast. Appreciate everybody hanging out, and we will catch you guys on the next one.